Hey guys, how we doing? Welcome to the live watch along. Sam Goodman, CHAINOI, WARAWAT. I think that's the way to pronounce it. Firstly, guys, well, welcome to the watch along. Also, apologies for the camera. This is just the laptop camera I've got on me at the moment. The other, my normal good one, didn't really measure up, unfortunately, and couldn't get it hooked up in time, but decided not to work. So we're stuck with this camera here. Now, as I'm going there, I'm just gonna. Oh no, I was just going to say I'll pan out just a little bit there. So, so I've had a few fights already. I think we've had 4. Now I had them just up. So if you weren't sure who was fighting tonight, we've had Alexandro Agrippa with a decision win over John Wheatra. The decisions or the scores there, 38-37 times 3. I've just started the main telecast. It looks like we've got Jonathan Brown up there and Alex Volkanovski. Hopefully they'll offset this other peanut they tend to have up there. What's his name? I'm sure you'll know who it is. What's his name? I'm sure they'll put it up in a minute. Peter Bedell, is it? Has no idea what he's talking about. Absolutely no idea. So I don't know why they've got him on as an expert, but it's good to see Alex Volkanovski up there as well. Having said that, though, I'm not quite sure why they've got Jonathan Brown up there. I know he's got a bit of an affiliation with the Maloney boys, but he is an AFL guy. So we'll get to the chat in a minute there, guys. What do we got? So the other fights on the card, we've had Amber Amelia with a 6-round decision over Connie Brown. This is the undercard version of the undercard, if that makes sense. 59-53 times 3. Chanel Dargan with a decision win over Panaporn Kalpawong. I'm just going to turn this down. I can't stand this bloody peanut talking, to be honest. He's Peter Bedell. Where did he come from? Let me know. All right. So it was at 50-45 times 3. And the fight just then was Liam Taliva and Johan Lind. I think I didn't actually catch the decision there, but it was pretty one-sided to Liam Taliva. So still to come, the main card. Let's have a look. We have in my phone. All right. So the main card, we have Billy Polkinghorn and Jordan. Sorry. No, that is right. Billy, hang on. What's happened to that? Isn't that always the way? Where is it? It's just decided to vanish. All right. We have Billy Polkinghorn, Jordan Caselleris. That's over 6 rounds, or 5 rounds, I think it is. 5-round, 140 pounds. We've got Brandon Grush and John Mailer at heavyweight. Monia Faaty versus Anton Markovic over 6 rounds. The other fight was 6 rounds as well. Really a good fight I'm looking forward to. Liam Wilson, Yousef Dib over 10 rounds at lightweight. Barry Hall over Curtis Scott. Take it or leave it. I'm probably going to, well, a little bit of both. I think you got to have these types of fights on here. I'm sure it'll be okay. I'm sure they'll go for it and give it a bit of a crack for, what is it, 6 2-minute rounds, I'm assuming. I think it says 6 rounds. Let's hope there's 6 rounds. And then in the main event, as I said, Sam Goodman, CHAINOI, WARAWAT, or WARAWAT, however you want to pronounce it. So that's the main card. We've got 6 fights. So what's that, 12? We've got a 6. We've got a 10. What's that? 1, 2, 3 6-rounders, a 5-rounder, a 10-rounder, and the 12-rounder. So that is the card as they're showing Sam Goodman walking into the arena there. This is in Wollongong, by the way. Let's get to a few comments. Good to see we've got a few in the chat. That's good. What do you got there? Damien, Rochester. How are you, mate? I'll be listening to you while it works. So let's go. Screw the pay-per-view. All good, mate. Happy to be of service to everyone out there that either doesn't or can't watch it or doesn't want to watch it. I think there's a lot that don't want to watch it. But anyway, that's why I'm here, mate. Let's go, Bazza. Be interesting to see how he goes because, look, boxing-wise, he's actually okay. He's got good skills. He has been sort of hyped as, well, his nickname, Big Bad Bustling Barry. If you're not familiar with him, AFL player, premiership player with Sydney, the Sydney Swans back in 2005. Also played with St Kilda and the Western Bulldogs. So he's a big unit. I think he's got 16 kilos on Curtis Scott. Now, I don't know anything about Curtis Scott except for the fact he can get under your skin very easily. I'm watching the guy thinking, this guy is so unlikable. He really, I know he plays on it, and a lot of those guys out there, I know every footy code has guys like these that are players, the players we love to hate, and he's definitely one. I don't even know the guy. I've never seen him play, and I'm not a fan. I hope Big Bad Bazza does the job, but should be entertaining while it lasts, because Curtis Scott, from what I've seen, the last guy I fought, I can't remember what his name was. Yeah, let's just say I don't think he exactly got hit with a mammoth shot to go down. So I think Barry Hall will be a little bit more durable than that. I just don't know what he's got left at 47 years of age. He looks in good nick, but yeah, it's a little bit different when you actually get in the ring. Oh, yeah, thanks, Damien. I did see this today. David Nyika, Blake Caparello on pay-per-view in September. Wow. Now, that is not No Limit, I don't think, is it? That is, I think it's Duco. Wow. I did see a little bit of the press conference of that today. I actually think it's going to be not a bad fight. Blake Caparello, he's a really good fighter. Just, again, how much he's got left. Just showing some highlights of Warawat at the moment. He can punch. I know his opposition probably hasn't been great, but he can punch, likes to put them together, likes to explode with 3, 4, 5 punches in a row. So, good knockout he's just had there. But anyway, but the pay-per-view, look, I do a lot for you guys and girls out there, but I'm sorry, I'm not buying a David Nyika, Blake Caparello pay-per-view. I'm sorry. I might do a review or something. That's the best I can offer. I'm sorry. All right, Kyle Champion, how you going there, mate? As long as the card's good, I'll pay, but I'm not paying for that Jake Paul trash. Is that July 30th, I think, Jake's fighting Kyle, I think. Haven't really heard a lot about it, if I'm being honest. I know he's got the fight planned after the Mike Tyson fight fell over, well, postponed. Is it still going ahead? Let me know. I haven't really heard anything about it, to be honest, but I wouldn't pay for a Jake Paul pay-per-view at all, either, Kyle. I'm happy the Mike Tyson fight, if it does happen, is going to be live and free on Netflix, which is good. But why would you pay for a Jake Paul fight? Fair dinkum. Look, if he fought a legitimate contender, then okay, I might consider it. But yeah, come on. His opposition has just been ridiculous. There is John Stanley in the chat. How you going there, mate? Welcome to the show. What's that? Authorised Seller Australia. What's that say? Nice work. Thanks for the commentary. We appreciate your expertise. Thanks, mate. Well, the old adage, mate, if you don't know what you're talking about, just pretend and say it with authority, and people will believe you. But no, I think I like to believe that I do know a little bit about what I'm talking about. But anyway, I'll let you guys be the judge of that. All right, Kyle. What's that? Evening, good work from Amber Amelia. Really like her fundamentals. She's growing. Chanel Dargan came out like a wrecking ball. But if she oversteps that right hand against a good fighter, ouch. Yeah, look, I didn't see a lot of the undercard, I must admit, Kyle. I was out there actually doing a little bit of training myself, and then had to woof down my dinner in about 10 minutes just to get on. But yeah, I'm a fan of Amber Amelia. I think, what's her name, the Pocket Rocket? I think she goes okay, Amber. She's got a good team behind her, best in the business, of course, with Glenn Jennings. I'm sure she'll get her opportunities. I think she's still pretty raw. Look, you know, in this sport, you need fighters from all different backgrounds and abilities and all that sort of stuff. I think she's more of that entertaining, fight card type of fighter, if that makes sense, on these big cards to put her on, entertaining, gives her a platform. I think she's great. So I didn't see the fight. Sorry, mate. Chanel Dargan, I did see a little bit of that one. Yeah, I'm with you there, Kyle. I know she likes to bang, and I think the problem with Chanel is that early in her career, she got into a couple of wars, and it's almost like it was expected of her. She got such a great feedback from everyone out there, including Main Event and No Limit, who keep putting her on. I think they expect these type of fights, and I think she puts that on herself, that it's expected. So she goes out there and really just lets them go without a lot of emphasis on defense. And it's okay when you're fighting those types of fighters she fought tonight, but I think if she's got any maybe ambitions to fight maybe outside of Australia, I think she's got to tidy a few things up. I'm not sure who was her trainer, Kyle. I didn't take much notice. I know she was with Ben Suther there for a while, and Ben's a really good trainer, so I'm assuming she would have been on the right track in that one, but I think he's moved to the Gold Coast to open the gym with the Maloney boys, so not quite sure who she's with now. But, look, she can fight. She needs a bit more pop in her punches, though, Kyle. She hasn't had a knockout just yet. So, again, I'm a little bit sceptical of how she goes outside of Australia. Matthew Tattersall, how you going there, mate? Scott seems to be doing all the right things to stay in the headlines, a bit like Jake Paul in a way. Look, the thing is, he's read the playbook, Matt. He's read the playbook. He's obviously got a little bit of interest because of the rugby league background, and he's probably taken the bait and run with it a little bit as far as well. Okay, I think I'm going to be the villain. Was he unliked as a player? I don't know who he is. So let me know. Barry was a little bit of both. He started off as a bit of a villain, Barry Hall, and he had a few nervous moments. I know if you're an AFL fan, you would have seen the knockout that he inflicted on Brent Staker about 15 or 16 years ago. Brent Staker was the defender, sort of doing a little bit of hanging on, and Barry Hall's just let the big left haul go and knocked him out. And he got 7 weeks. I think these days he'd probably get about 12 with how anal they are about with the moment. I'm just going to turn this down a little bit at the moment. They wouldn't welcome the country at the moment, but I can't sort of hear myself here. So, so I'm not sure who he is and his background, but as I said, I think he's really looked at the villain playbook, probably a little bit out of the Jake Paul sort of manual as well, and just run with being the bad guy. So it's worked because it's got me interested in it. I want to see the fight. Let's see if he can fight as good as he talks anyway, against some decent opposition anyway. G'day, Shamrock. How you going, mate? Looking forward to seeing Billy, a future star. This is Billy Polkinghorn. Future star, I reckon. Dib versus Wilson, fight of the night. Well, that's the one I'm looking forward to, Shamrock. I think that'll be a really good fight. I think, look, Dib can fight. I certainly don't think he's world class, if I'm being completely honest. I know his brother Billy has got big plans. I did see today they were sort of talking about maybe a George Kambosos fight next. I would think that if George Kambosos is pretty much laughing off a fight with Liam Wilson, I shudder to think what he would think about a fight with Yousef Dib. Because at least Liam Wilson he's proven he's world class. He's fought for 2 world titles. So far, Yousef Dib hasn't really done anything. And look, 2 fights ago, he was beaten by Ibrahim Balla, who had been pretty much retired for about 5 years, 5 or 6 years. So, look, I'm not completely sold on Yousef Dib. I would expect Liam Wilson to get the job done, but I suppose anything can happen. Ibrahim Balla beat Dib. Can Dib come back and now beat Wilson? Good time to get Liam Wilson, I will say. If you're going to get him, this is the time. Coming off the stoppage loss to Oscar Valdez, I know they're trying a few different things in camp. So maybe in that transition period, maybe it is a good time to get him. But I think if it all goes according to the script, I would think that Liam Wilson should have enough to beat Yousef Dib. Won't be easy. Yousef Dib, look, he's shown he can fight. I watched his fight with Maor Zalewski today, and I still can't believe that he got away with that win. I mean, he was dropped and he was hurt bad. He spat the mouth guard out, and then inexplicably the referee. Now I've got to look at the rules on this, by the way. But the referee, a little bit like when Zarafa and Horn fought. Can you remember that when Horn he got knocked down? No, sorry, he didn't get knocked down. He was hurt and he was almost gone, and he had the cut eye, and the referee stopped the fight to have the cut eye checked mid-fight. And I would have thought in that situation they would have let the fight play out the way it probably should have. And more than likely, Michael Zarafa would have got Jeff Horn out of there a second time. But history shows that Jeff Horn had the cut examined, gave himself probably a minute's break or 45 seconds break, and then went out and actually knocked Michael Zarafa down in about 30 seconds later, and went on to win the fight. So I see that the same with the Yousef Dib fight. He got dropped with a big left hook. He was hurt. He was cut, spat the mouth guard out, and then the referee decided to take a point off him for the knockdown. Now, I would have thought, I'm not an official, I'm just sort of looking at it for what I would have thought it would have been, is that the referee would have let the fight play out. So put the mouth guard straight back in, called box, and then whatever happens, happens. If Yousef Dib makes it through the round, between rounds, they take a point off for the mouth guard. That's the way I would see it. So the bell rings, The referee then goes to Yousef Dib's corner and says, deliberate spitting out of the mouth guard, I'm taking a point, and goes around and lets the judges know. That's the way I would think it should work, but again, I'm not 100% sure that is the way the officials are being told to do it. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? And on the mouthguard thing, I will say again, and I said this after the Liam Wilson and Navarrete fight, if you lose your mouthguard, and the fighters are about to come in the ring here, by the way, guys, this is Polkinghorn about to come in. If a fighter loses his mouthguard during a round, no matter what the circumstances, whether it's knocked out, whether it's spat out, whether it falls out, it is box on. And the mouthguard is taken back to the corner when the bell rings, and then the corner can wash it and put it back in. If you lose your mouthguard during the round, stiff. So what do you guys think? All right, I'll keep going through the comments here. What's that? Ramdal Guyena. Is this live or commentary? It is just my commentary, unfortunately, Ramdal. Unfortunately. All right, Ethan Beasley, what time is Barry Hall on? Okay, well, this, I would say he won't be on till about 10 or 10:30, I would think. Ethan, we've got, let's go through it. So you would think, hang on, I'll go to the No Limit page again with the card. All right, so we've got, I can find it, I should say. All right, so so this is a 5-rounder. So we think this would be over by maybe about 7:35. The heavyweight should be over, so it should be just after 8. 6-rounder, that's 8:30, 9:30. I'm thinking about between 9:30 and 10, Ethan, if I'm going to pick a time. But anything's possible. All right, Kyle, Jake's fighting a nobody as usual, which is fitting considering Jake is a nobody. I've been at war with that tool on Twitter all last weekend. Jai apparently hasn't achieved half of what he's done. You've been at war with Jake Paul. Kyle, you are a savage. Did you see, was it today with the shark thing? It had to be staged. He's on a Lilo or something like that, and he's now supposed to be fighting. Is it what, next weekend? I think he's got a drink. I don't know what was in it, but he was on a Lilo with his mate, and a shark apparently came, and I've got no doubt it was staged, but apparently it was a shark attack and everything else. But look, I think he's an absolute tool, Kyle. As I said before, I will not watch any of his fights. I will watch the Tyson fight because it's free, and I hope not Mike Tyson knocks his head off. But yeah, I won't pay to watch him fight. And if he's got the nerve to say he hasn't done, Jai hasn't done anything what he's done, well, he's just kidding himself. But look, what I will say is what I said just before. It's the playbook of knowing your audience, knowing how to play them, knowing how to interact like you've already done with him. More importantly, watch his fights, buy his drinks, the Prime drinks, and follow him on social media. That's what it's all about. So he is the master at it, really, when you think about it. So yeah, I suppose good luck to him. There's Glenn in the chat. How you going there, mate? Welcome to the show. I must say the commentary is driving me crazy, so biased and poor. Well, who was the commentator? I think it was Barry Michael. I didn't know who the other guy was because, again, I only got sort of halfway through the Chanel Dargan fight. I wasn't really taking much notice, and during the heavyweight fight, I was sort of setting up. So I think Barry Michael would be pretty good. He's always, for me, I think he always tells it the way it is. But look, as long as they've got guys like this Peter Bedell on, it's hard to take it seriously. That's all I'll say. I would have thought that you would have had Barry Michael on during the main card and put this other peanut on the undercard. But anyway, love have. Oh yeah, JB. That's Jonathan Brown, absolute legend. Jonathan Brown, he certainly is, mate. Did Yousef end up making weight? Yes, he did, mate. He was right on the button. I think it was 61.2. I think it was from memory. The welcome to country at the start was cringe. Lieutenant Dan should have wrestled the mic away. Look, Ghetto, Matt. I'll call you Matt. Look, I must admit, and this is probably at risk of upsetting a lot of people out there. I think the welcome to country thing is good in certain areas. Maybe an international event, might be the rugby or whatever it might be. I don't like it on a domestic pay-per-view map. And again, I know that might upset a few out there. I understand the concept behind it. I get it. But one, you've got to think of both sides of the fence. Now, also know that No Limit, of course, is an indigenous company, so it's up to them whether they want to put it on or not. That's fine. But we're into round one here, by the way, and we've already got a count. So apologies for that. I haven't really commentated on it, but I'll give you the results as we go. I think we'll do a little bit more of a chat as we go, and I'll update you on the undercard. But as I said, look, it's okay in certain areas, but I think as a whole, I don't think we should have it before every sporting event and whatever else we tend to have. I think half of Aussies, if that's what you want to call it, get offended at the fact they're actually being welcomed to their own country. I know, I must admit, when I'm on a plane coming from overseas back to Australia, I suppose that's okay because you have a lot of international visitors. What I don't like is when you're flying internally and they welcome us to our own country. I don't like it. I just don't think it's needed. I get the trying to be all things to all people and keep it all kosher, but they've got to think of the whole of population of Australia, not just one part of it. And I know Aboriginal people that they couldn't give a toss either. They think it's a joke as well. They get more offended about it than people that get offended by being welcomed to their own country. So I don't know. What do you guys think? I don't want to get too political about it. Everyone's entitled to the point of view, but my opinion is keep it to the massive events that feature Australians in it. Like I said, it might be the Grand Prix, it might be the tennis. Again, it might be rugby league, whatever it might be, the soccer. But for Australian domestic sport, I just don't see the need for it. And to the point where, look, do they really say anything that really matters? You know, it's not. A lot of it's just really just, g'day, how you going? Have a good night. Welcome to whatever land it is, and enjoy yourself. And that's about it. Is that what a welcome to country is? I would have thought it a little bit more official, and that's why I don't mind it for those big international events. Welcome the world to Australia. If that's what you want to do, that's great. But in this instance, I don't like it. Just my opinion. Come at me if you will, but this is a free country, and I'll have my say. So anyway, and speaking of Lieutenant Dan, Matt, can we stop calling it the contest? Scores the contest. It's a fight, Dan. The winner of the fight. Such and such a judge scored the fight. Not such and such scored the contest. Or the competition. Sorry, I think it's a competition he calls it. It's not a competition, Dan. This is a fight, mate. Call it a fight. The winner of the fight. Such and such scores the fight. Not the competition. But anyway, maybe that's his way of being a little bit different. All right, now I'll just wait for the comments to come through about my comments there. But anyway, trust me, don't buy this bullshit and listen to Lyndon, or if you do buy it, mute your TV and have this going a million times better than them dickheads. I appreciate that, Damien. Look, I'm not a commentator, but I'll do my best, mate, and I'll just give you the updates as we're going. And if you are wondering, we are in round 2. Billy Polkinghorn and what was his name? Is it Joel Castelliris? No, that's... what is it there? What have I got? I'll have to take a photo of this, by the way, so I don't keep forgetting. All right, so it is Jordan Castellieri. So he was down in the first round, so a 10-8 round to Polkinghorn. Looks like he's boxing very, very nice at the moment. It just looks like he's having a bit of fun in there at the moment, to be honest. All right. Glenn Dargan clearly won the fight, but got hit by 1,000 left hooks by the Thai girl, which they just didn't mention. It's just unbalanced commentary, and Barry is as bad as the rest of them. Is that right, Glenn? Okay, that's cool. Yep, as I said, I didn't really listen to it a lot. Look, it's probably a little bit different when you've got two Aussies, I suppose, that are fighting each other. But when you've got the international, of course, they're going to have the blinkers on and just watch one of the fighters. And, you know, Chanel's a bit of a crowd pleaser and a favourite. So, Lieutenant Dan Hennessy, wasn't he demoted to private? Well, yes, he... I think he should be demoted to private, Kyle. Look, I, for one, I know he's got a lot of detractors out there, and he does shit me to tears sometimes, if I'm being completely honest. But overall, look, his heart's in the right place. He does a really good job. I know the theatrics get a little bit tiring. I, for one,
really am over the whole throwing the paper up in the air and telling us to make some noise. And I understand it. Every announcer's got their shtick or whatever they use, and that's okay. But Lieutenant, it's not, or Private, according to Cole there, it's not a competition, mate. It's a fight. Okay, if you want to call it a bout, call it a bout. But it certainly is not a competition, if you ask me. But anyway, but yeah, if you didn't know, he did go into exile. He sort of retired. Typical of boxing, though, he came back, and I, for one, I'm glad to see him back. I think he does a good job. John Taffer. Yeah, it's a good likeness there, Damien. Yeah, he just self-appointed exile for a couple of months. And look, I'm glad he's back. I think he made a mistake. He did handle it really badly, if you ask me, though, on the night or on the day. What he should have said was, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry. There's been an error. Boxers back to the center of the ring, please. I will read the scorecard and then read it out and then maybe apologise afterwards or whatever it might be. I don't see the big drama in it. I know we all got a little bit perplexed. The problem he had was that he didn't mention anything. The decision was announced. Nina Hughes was celebrating. Shanika Johnson was looking like she was about to get out the ring. And then inexplicably he said, ladies and gentlemen, the scorecards. And he just read them out again. And everyone was a little bit like, hang on, what's going on? So I know he tried to rush through it, by the way, to maybe just sweep it under the carpet. But I think he actually caused a little bit more confusion by just reading it without actually explaining it at all. So sport is used as a political platform shoved down our necks. It is, Julian. I agree. And look, I don't know how it is in the NRL. And again, I know I'm treading lightly here, or carefully, cautiously, whatever you want to call it. But in the AFL, I'm just AFL through and through. So I've got to use that as an example. We have the Indigenous round, which I think is great. I really do. They do it so well. And when I say political, it's not necessarily about rights or treaties or whatever it might be, or the Black Lives Matter thing, anything like that. It is a celebration of the Aboriginal or Indigenous culture and heritage of this country, and I think it's great. And all they do is they get the teams in, every team does an Indigenous jersey or jumper, whatever you want to call it, every year, and they look great. They do such a great job. And most of the time, they'll bring in a player or a partner or a relative or something that's attached to some of the players, and they'll design it. And I think it's great. And it's more, as I said, a celebration of the culture and heritage of the Aboriginal people, which I think is great. But then we get into other things, like I remember, and again, I'll go back over, I'm probably going to lose some viewers here if I keep going, but I don't want to get too political. But you go even, was it last week, we had the Pride round. Now, I've got no dramas with the Pride thing, okay? I'll just put that out there. If you're gay or whatever it might be, whatever, I couldn't care less. It's up to you. But do we really need a round of football to celebrate it? I think we all get the message. I think we all get the message that, you know, the days gone by are gone, and we have to be more accepting, and these are, all part of the... No drama. Whatever you want to do at home, that's up to you, or your preferences. Hey, that's great. That's awesome. But do we need a round of football to celebrate it and have the players running around with rainbow flags and everything else? I don't get it. And I don't agree with it. I don't think any sport should be used for political grounds there, Julian. And probably the worst example I've ever seen was, 4 years ago during COVID, we had the Black Lives Matter thing. And that's, if you agree with it or you don't, then that's up to you. In round 3 here, by the way. Welcome to the Boxing Deep Dive political platform with Lyndon. But anyway, Castelliris is down again, by the way, in round 3. But we had players pretty much forced to put on the T-shirts and kneel and all that sort of stuff. What would happen if, and I'm sure they were out there, players didn't agree with the whole thing, but they were pretty much shamed into doing something they didn't believe in. That's why I think no matter what side of the fence you're on, keep politics out of it. I mean, what if there was a player that strongly disagreed with the whole Black Lives Matter concept? And remember, this is an American thing, by the way. This wasn't about Australian Black Lives Matter. This was the American thing. Remember, we had the riots all out at the time, but the AFL latched onto it and made everyone kneel, or everyone was pretty much shamed into doing it. And as I said, what about those players that didn't agree with it and didn't want to kneel, but they pretty much had to because that was the right thing to do? And that's what I don't like. And I don't care whether you're for one way or the other, but to force people into a situation they don't really want to be in and support a cause they might not otherwise, just because of the backlash that might come their way, I think it's wrong. So in that aspect, Julian, keep politics out of all sport. That's just what I think anyway. Anyway, let's go on. End of round 3, by the way. Billy Polkinghorn doing the job at the moment. All right, Flash. What do we got there, mate? Who do you think Tszyu will fight next in September or October? Apparently he's now back in Thailand training, which is nice to see. I can't wait to see him back in the ring. Well, Flash, I don't know for sure. I've heard rumours, but I'm not going to sort of put anything out there because nothing's been said for sure yet. So it's all just guessing. And if I say anything, I'm probably just guessing as well. But what's his name? Mirza Kaliov, or however you pronounce it, has been mentioned for that IBF belt, which probably would make sense. I wouldn't be surprised though if we saw Tim just in a non-title fight, maybe on one of those big cards overseas at the end of the year, or even back here in Australia. I don't think he'll probably be back till September, October, as you've said there. So there are some reality cards around that time. Who knows? There's lots of possibilities for him out there. But the fact he's actually gone to Thailand, Flash, for that training camp shows or tells me that he's not too far away from a fight announcement, I would think. So, yeah, Jake the Cut Snake. Yeah, no, he's back. Jake. Totally agree with you, mate. All due respect, but it's getting a bit too much. Yeah, that's about the welcome to country. And again, it's just our opinions. And like I said, guys, I have no problems with it if you're flying into Australia. But to get a welcome to the country when you're flying from Melbourne to Brisbane or something, come on, I don't think we need to do that. But anyway, all right, Double G, 100% agree. It's really getting, what's that, getting off the, or getting out of control, is it? Last few years. I reckon politicians love the divisiveness that it causes. Yep. Well, how would you be if you were, say, Qantas, who put this is the yes thing, and I think quite wisely. I'm not sure how the NRL went with it, but in the AFL they didn't pick a side. Clubs did. Clubs supported it, and I wasn't happy with that either. I don't think clubs and that should be pushing any agenda on any of the fans because look, at the end of the day, they can't win. If they went for the yes vote, you've got, I was just going to say half the supporter base or membership base disagree with them because they voted against it, but it was more, what was it, like 65% or something? So they've upset 65% of their members or supporters. It just doesn't make sense. Just stay out of it. And if you're asked about it, just say, hey, look, we're not going to get political. We're out. We're not going to comment. I think that, I agree with you, Double G. I think they do love the divisiveness, to be honest. Keeps them in the news. What's that, Hanoi Tripper? Just from the other night, I'm a Carlton Blues and Storm fan, like me there. Hanoi, just dislike Hall for coward punching Staker ages ago. Yeah, well, did the job, didn't he? That's for sure. Agree on the no need for AFL gay pride rounds. Yeah, look, it's just not needed, Hanoi. As I said, no dramas. Don't you think we've all again, not that I've ever had a problem with it, but even just over the journey with our culture, it's like it's accepted. I know back in the day they might have been made fun of or ostracised or maybe even assaulted, whatever it might have been. But I think we get the point now. We get the point. Okay, so why do we need to consistently just, excuse the pun, but ram down our throat? Why do we need it? I don't understand. Anyway, and again, the players. Now, I think actually it was the NRL. Again, this is the end of the 4th round, by the way. We have got a fight night going on at the moment, but you guys have raised it. In the NRL, I think it was. Now, I'm not, again, an NRL person, but didn't some players actually have to stand down? This would have been the Pacific Islanders. They're very religious, very set in the ways and the Bible, and they see the whole thing as wrong. They had to stand out because they refused to wear the jerseys. Now, isn't that just being divisive? And I know actually in the AFL it happened too, in the AFLW, the women's comp. A young Muslim player who played for the Giants, I think it was, had to sit out because she wasn't prepared to wear the Pride jersey. Now, that's just unfair on her. Now, what happens to her gay teammates? Do they now suddenly have a problem with her, or does it create friction? I don't understand. But anyway, let's get back to the boxing. All right, I'm see Barry Hall in the change rooms at the moment. He's getting ready to go. We're into round number 5 of 5. So Casilirius has made it this far. He's looked okay. Polkinghorn, he's done the job. Look, I don't think he's been. I've probably been talking halfway through it, by the way, but I don't think he's been, like some sort of phenomenon or whatever. He's boxed okay. He's boxed smart. Not quite sure is he a puncher. He has put Casilirius down twice, but hasn't been able to keep him down. He looks like he's far more developed than Casilirius is Polkinghorn. So he's been game Casilirius, but you can tell that Polkinghorn has got it over him as far as ability goes. So you would expect him to get him out of there and hasn't been able to do it. But he's only his second fight, so they'll probably be grateful for the rounds. What's that, Kyle? Sorry, did I put that up there? Don't get me wrong. We all love Dan. Shanika Johnson said it best. He's a little extra, but he's normally good at what he does. Yeah, no, that's a fair point, Kyle. Tommy B, how you going there, mate? Billy Polkinghorn looks the goods, but Casilirius definitely has some ticker. Yeah, well, that's not to be disputed there, mate. He has got some heart. But, look, I would have thought that Polkinghorn would have had enough to get him out of there. I know it's one thing to have heart, but he looks really overmatched, I think, as far as ability and talent goes. But again, I'm sure, look, it's 5 rounds in the bank, so that's probably what they're after at this stage of Polkinghorn's career, I would say. Billy looks like a machine. He's a Brit. Yeah, he is, mate. He's been here for 11 years, apparently. It did represent Australia at the Commonwealth Games in 2022. I'm not sure how he went. Not sure whether he got a medal or not. But look, he's definitely capable. And at 140, there's probably some good fights out there for him. So we'll see what he's got. Not sure how old he is either, but he's lived out here for about 11 years, I think. All right, CHAINOI Tripper, the gay Qantas CEO, ruined Oz Rugby Union, got rid of the best player, Izzy Folau, and lost all the fans. Well, there you go. Geez, what a peanut that guy was. What was his name? Was it Joyce? Alan Joyce? Just like, just ruin that airline, CHAINOI. Just ruin the airline. To the point, like I was at the point where, unless I really have to, if I have the choice, I'm not flying Qantas. And I know a lot of people are under the same thing just because, one, he was an absolute dick and he's pushing the agenda and painting it on the planes and all that sort of stuff. Just stay out of it, mate. Stay out of it. You don't have to be involved. And I know it's all, the supposedly good, the right thing to do is support the cause. That's great. But you've just upset a lot of people, and who knows how much money it costs the company. The new CEO Pokemon did wear a couple of nice ones there from Casilirius, but looks like he's got the decision in hand anyway. But the new CEO is trying. They're doing lots of sales. They've upped the frequent flyer program. They've done a lot of things. This is the end of the fight, by the way, guys. I'll give you the score in a sec. Let's score it there. But upset a lot of people. And as I said, even now, the tide's slowly turning, but still at the moment, if I've got a choice if I'm flying, I will choose someone else, just to make a point. I just hate what he did to that airline. Bob Laser, how are you, mate? Wilson by decision? Yep, I think by decision, Bob. Maybe later round stoppage, but I would say on decision, on points there, mate. Everyone turning queer for some reason. It seems to be the in thing at the moment, doesn't it, Bob? Seems to be trendy. I mean, even to the point where workplaces and schools and all that sort of stuff, suddenly everyone seems to be non-binary or gay or something, isn't it? I don't know, is it a fad? Are they? Look, I know they're all confused. Don't even get me started on schools, by the way, guys. That I'm just glad my oldest son is out, and this is the last year for my youngest. Because the shit that they're putting on the kids at school, if my kids were just starting high school, I'd probably pull them out and homeschool them, if I was being honest. I mean, who takes down the Australian flag to put up, or just takes the flag down to put up the pride flag? And again, I've got no issues with the pride thing. That's your thing, then happy days. No issue. But why are we replacing Australian flags with pride flags? We get the point. Again, I'll say it. We get that point. This is what happens to this Western culture with no religion. Well, when we get to the point, Damien, where, like being patriotic is deemed as racist and far right. Now, I'll tell you one thing, and again, we're in between fights here, by the way. Polkinghorn's about to win a unanimous decision. But look, speaking for myself, and I'm sure I speak for a lot of you out there, I love my country. I love Western values. I love everything about our country. I fly the flag proudly on our business. Whenever I fly, I'm proudly Australian. But I love our culture and I love our way of life. That now makes me a far right. Now, I always thought far right was skinheads and Nazis and all this sort of stuff. Apparently, that's me. Just because I'm Australian, I'm patriotic, I love my country, I stand for the anthem, I proudly sing the anthem. But apparently, I'm a right wing Nazi racist. So there you go. That's the world we live in at the moment, Damien. In this Western world, not just Australia, it's the States, it's England, the Western world. I don't know where we're heading there, Damien. Geez, I might have to rename this. It's not the live watch along, is it? It's the Linden hour of politics. But anyway, keep the comments coming there, guys. I'll keep commenting as we go. What is next? We have what is next? I'm going to take a picture of this card, by the way. I'm sick of going back and going through it. All right. There it is. I'm going to take a picture. Oop. All right. So I'll do that. All right. So next up, Brandon Grush and John Mailer. Now, I haven't seen John Mailer fight before. They're actually interviewing Sam Goodman now. But we've all seen Brandon Grush fight before, and holy shit, the guy is tough and can punch. That last win over Taliva, wow, that was crazy. What's that? Billy was $1.33 for the KO. Well, sorry, Bob. No knockout tonight, mate. Ryan, I'm sick of the crap shoved down our throats. Well, if I could do a poll, I'd put it up there, guys, because I'd be interested. It seems like I'm in the majority anyway. But look, I understand. I'll just say again, I understand the world's changed and everything else, but I just don't know why that if you just love our heritage and culture and the way we've lived for however many years, that all of a sudden and you, if you agree, you're a right wing Nazi. I just don't understand it, and I don't care. I'm old enough now that I don't give a shit. I proudly love Australia, and again, I'll always sing the anthem and be very, very staunch in my beliefs of being a patriot. All right. Religion is built to separate, not include. It is, mate. It's a good point. Really good point, actually, Kyle. It is. And we're seeing it, and I'm certainly not going to get into this one with the whole Israel-Palestine thing. I don't know anything about that or enough to comment, so please don't ask me to comment on that. I'll end up just upsetting a lot. But I don't know enough to comment. But I know that's not based on religion, by the way, but right around the world at the moment, it's the whole thing's religion, and it's the divider right down the middle. And the world's in a strange place at the moment, isn't it? All right, Hanoi. All right, so we got there. All right. We used to sing the Oz anthem every Monday at my old country primary school. I did too, mate. I remember that. These days, I doubt it happens. Italy, Turkey, Spain, etc. all love the country openly, but we can't here in Oz. Mate, I hear you. And this is the thing. Why? Look, for one, I don't think in this day and age, I was going to say, in years gone by with the religion thing, I remember being at primary school and high school, and I'm not a religious person. And if you are, that's great. I just personally, I'm not. But I remember being at school and they would do the religious studies. Now, I understand in this day we're a lot more multicultural than what we were 30 years ago, whatever it was. I understand that there's other cultures and religions. But so why, maybe just at the moment, just keep the religion sort of on the down low and let everything settle. I don't know. It just seems to divide everyone, the whole religion thing. But I'm with you, Hannah. I remember being at school and singing the Australian national anthem every day before school at the assembly. And was it every? No, it might have been like you every week, but I can't remember. But I remember standing up, looking at the flag and singing the anthem. And I'll still say, I remember my first ever boxing tournament in Samoa, winning the gold medal over there in the Oceania Games. One of my proudest moments ever was standing up. It was my first time standing up with the gold medal and listening to the Australian national anthem. Now, it was only a small tournament, but I didn't care. To stand up there and have the national anthem played for me, one of my proudest moments ever. But I just don't understand why it's just not on to celebrate who we are. I don't get it. I don't get it. Mate, I'm with you there, mate. Please take me back to the 80s. 80s and 90s, Double G. I'm with you. You're probably my vintage as well. The 80s. I always get a little bit, I'd probably say emotional. There's a couple of Instagram pages that do it, and they do the film clips back in the day, and remember the music. This is how we're going from politics to music and everything, though, guys. But remember, even the music back in the 80s. I was probably more the heavier stuff. I used to love AC/DC, Metallica, and Guns N' Roses, and Kiss, and Motley Crue, and even Poison, and all those types of bands. Who are the big bands? Who are the bands that the kids have to listen to these days? They've got nobody. I know there's some entertainment. Back in the 80s, you talk about Double G, Michael Jackson and Prince and Bruce Springsteen and Cyndi Lauper and Madonna, and I'm just picking a few out there. Wow, Phil Collins, all those amazing artists. Now, I understand these days there are some good artists out there, but who are the bands? I don't think of a band, and to the point where, the biggest shows, apart from probably Taylor Swift, the biggest shows going on around the world at the moment are those old bands from the 80s and 90s that are all still playing. They're the ones that are drawing the 50, 60, 70,000 people. So maybe I'm getting old, but give me a band. Who are the big bands these days? Who's going to draw 50 or 60, 70,000 people to an arena? And they've got to be from the 2000s onwards. So I'm with you, Double G, the 80s and the 90s. Look, I love the 90s. I was a teenager in the 90s. My favourite band of all time is Pearl Jam, but Nirvana, the Chili Peppers, Soundgarden, Smashing Pumpkins, Alice in Chains. What a decade that was. All right. We'll keep going. Maybe a weekly politics show is coming. Aussies who aren't lefties are the best people on the planet. Well, maybe we could do that, Damien. We'll do a talk show. But then, mate, all of a sudden, I'll be in the Herald Sun or something here in Melbourne as far right businessman makes racist podcast or something like that. That's what'll happen, and then they'll all be coming for me. If I wasn't in business, mate, I wouldn't care. But I've got to be careful. It's true, you have all these functions trying to force the way of life on other people. I'm agnostic, but I agree with everything written in a book from man claiming to a higher power. I disagree, with everything written in a book from man claiming to a higher power. Yeah, well, what's agnostic mean? Is that like an atheist or something? But yeah, look, I'm not religious at all, but I respect everyone's religion because, I reckon, is it something like 90% of people are religious in some way? That's not me, but all the best if you are, but each to their own, I suppose. Oh, yeah, today is the meaning of factions. Certainly is, mate. Julian, what's the ruling if mouthpiece falls out in the canvas and could become a slipping hazard? Refs call. Well, that's what I said before, mate. If it falls out, it falls out. If the referee could maybe give it a kick or whatever it might be, or maybe quickly say stop and get it and just throw it to the corner, whatever it might be. But the whole stopping, taking him back to the corner, we saw with Navarrete, he put it in upside down, he fumbled it, put it in upside down. The referee had no choice but to stop, take it out, put it the right way, and all of us, and had the long can. So Liam Wilson, I'm not probably in the camp that says he 100% would have got the job done, but geez, give the guy an opportunity. Give him a chance to win the belt. It's a world title fight. And I don't blame the referee, if I'm being honest, though, because he's only doing what the rules say. But why stop the fight because the mouthguard falls out? That's stiff. Stiff shit. Let it go. Same with Jeff Horn's cut. Okay, well, it's bleeding and it's cut. It's bad. Stiff shit. Michael Zarafa's on a roll. Let it play out. End of the round, whatever it might be, or there's a break in action or whatever it might be, or probably not even a break in action because that was still disadvantaged Michael Zarafa in that instance. But wait till the end of the round. Then I think they do that now after the 1 minute's up. When they get up to start the next round, then they say stop, and then they get the doctor to come and inspect it. But to do it mid-round when the guy's in trouble, yeah, not a good look. But the rule is, Julian, I think is that the referee has to call stop. The first chance he gets to stop the fight, he has to stop the fight and take the fighter back to the corner and wash the mouth guard. All right, so we've got Brandon Grush and is it John Mailer next. I haven't got my glasses on, so I can't see there. But age 30 is Grush, 34 is Mailer. Sorry, I just missed the terrible tape there, guys. Sorry about that. Can't wait to get to Turkey this August. Okay, what's in Turkey, Damien? Just a holiday, mate? And I've just missed, where are we? Gone too far. There we go. The comments there. All right, here we go. Let us know what's in Turkey, mate. It's not probably a place I would go if I was sort of looking to plan a holiday, but it'd be good to go to some countries that are a little bit diverse to us. All right, so they're introducing John Mailer and Brandon Grush at the moment, so I'll keep you updated with that. Today's music will not be remembered like the 80s and 90s, that's for sure. Well, mate, again, who are the biggest artists these days? Taylor Swift aside, and not just artists, the bands. Who are the bands? And these days you don't have to bring out albums. Remember back in the day where you'd wait for the albums? You might see a single or the music sound clip on the Saturday morning music shows, wherever it might be, and you wanted the album to come out. Now they just bring out singles, and that's if they sort of bring any music out at all. It's a weird time. I'm just glad, Double G, I'm from the era of the 80s and 90s where some of the greatest artists of all time, as I said before, those bands I just mentioned, and I probably missed 10. So Damien, oh my God, 80s music is hands down the best, and I'm a 90s kid, yeah. Lincoln, Post Malone and Morgan Wallen. Okay, I've heard of Post Malone. Apparently he's pretty good. We started round 1, by the way. I'll keep you up to date with that. Never heard of Morgan Wallen. I think country music's sort of coming to the fore as well at the moment too, isn't it? My wife, Tara, loves country music. What's that, Hanoi? You'll see the Turk flags everywhere, and it's a crime to deface the flag and a Turk attack. Sorry, flag. Okay, so be aware. Okay, well, that's the way it should be, Hanoi. Who you got in the next fight, says Bob. I've got... Well, I haven't really seen again much of any of John Mailer, but he's definitely loading up in this first round. But Brandon Grush has shown in the past, of course, it doesn't really matter what happens in the first round or so. He's always dangerous. So we're a minute into round number 1. And a little bit of wrestling going on at the moment. But I must say, Mailer, is it Mailer? Mailer does look capable. He's got that typical sort of Pacific Islander type of a stance, nice and low, hands nice and high, coming from down low, but not a lot of action so far. What's that there? You're right, probably try and take everything you own too. They would, mate. They would. I'll be getting sued. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I love our ring girls, the No Limit ones, yep. UFC ring girls are unmatched. Yeah, I don't really see much of the UFC there, Bob, but as long as they're classy, that's what I'm after. I don't like... Oh, geez, Mailer's letting a few bombs go here with 1 minute to go in the first round. Looks to have maybe just rocked Grush a little bit there. He's trying to cover up in close. You expect maybe Mailer to be dangerous early and then Grush maybe to come on a little bit later. Look, he's not the most graceful guy, is Grush, but look, he's tough and he's hard and he can punch. I was just going to say, Bob, as long as they're classy, mate. I don't like the promotions where you see the G-strings and the high heels and that sort of stuff. I don't like it. I like the top-ranked girls. They're pretty good. Who's fighting now? It is Brandon Grush and John Mailer. And we've got 30 seconds to go in round number 1. All right. It was good fun. Early 2000s was a Kurdish-owned... Oh, okay, that's in Turkey. You had the hotel there. Yep, Julian. Yep, cool, mate. Yep. It just makes sense, doesn't it, Julian, to let the fight go right at the end of the first round. I'd probably give that round to Mailer. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me where it's unfair to the guy who's got the other guy on the ropes to be penalised, to be stopped, and Liam Wilson's a classic example. Trevor Taylor, how are you, Trevor? Looking forward to a good performance from Liam Wilson tonight. Yeah, look, I'm really interested to see how he goes, Trevor. And look, it is a dangerous fight for him because Yousef Dib, while again I'll say I don't really see him as that world-class type of fighter. He's capable, obviously from good stock. If Liam Wilson's serious about making an impact on the world scene, then he has to win this fight. He just has to. And if he loses the fight, I just don't know where he goes. I don't think, probably a little bit like George Kambosos on a lower scale. George Kambosos, a little bit similar situation at the moment. A little bit in the abyss. He's lost 3 of his last 4, arguably 4 of his last 4. And where does he go now? The big names are probably done with him for the time being. He can come back to Australia, but has no interest in that. So he's in a little bit of limbo at the moment. And that's where I would see Liam Wilson if he loses his fight. To the point, I think if he loses the fight, I think that would probably be it for him to have any chance at world level. But so let's hope he does the job. G'day, Adam. Nice to see you too there, mate. Thank you, mate. I haven't been called legend that often in my life, but I appreciate it, mate. Julian, Australia has some good fighters now. Golden age, mate. It is well and truly a golden age. You look at this year, we've had 11 fighters fight for world titles. Now, I'm going to try and go through them. So we've had, just before I do that, though, I'll just update this fight. We're nearly a minute into round number 2, and John Mailer is really letting the bombs go in this round, and to the point where John Grush is hanging on a little bit at the moment, but he does punch back now. Let's see if John Mailer can keep up this pace for 6 rounds and whether he gasses out. But certainly doing the job at the moment is John Mailer. And looks like he can punch too. He's just missed a couple there. So we've had Jai Pataya, we've had Tim Tszyu, we've had Liam Para, we've had George Kambosos, we've had Jason Maloney, we've had Andrew Maloney, we've had Shanika Johnson, Sky Nicholson, Liam Wilson. What's that? 9. Fill me in there, guys. Who have I missed? I'm pretty sure we had 11. Anyway, fill me in. I'm sure, have I missed? What have I done there? Sam Goodman might fight for a world title as well. So anyway, however you look at it, Julian, we are definitely in a golden age at the moment, mate. Damien, I've got no interest in all these touristy countries that absolutely everyone goes to. Might head to Albania as well after it before I come back. Good call there, Damien. That's look, I must admit I'm one of those boring tourist type of guys. I love just going to the States, Canada. But I must admit, and Grush is sort of coming back a little bit now. Looks like he's found his range a little bit more. 45 seconds ago in round number 2. But when I say the States, I don't really like going to the real touristy areas. Well, actually, I'll take that back. I like going there, but I like to actually nothing better than jumping in a car and driving to those places. So some of the best times I've been, probably the last 3 or 4 times I've been to the States, it's jumping in a car and just driving. So I did it last year for the first time. Actually, was it last year? Yeah. The first real time I did it was the Kambosos and Maxi Hughes fight. I went to Oklahoma. So I flew to Oklahoma. Dallas, drove to Oklahoma, which was about 3 hours. Did the fight there, then drove to, that's the end of round number 2. I drove from Oklahoma. Where was it? Shawnee, Oklahoma. I drove to Memphis, and I was there for 3 or 4 days. That was a 6-hour drive, by the way. Drove to Memphis. I was there for a couple of days, and then drove to Kentucky for the Muhammad Ali, his house and his grave, and the Muhammad Ali Center and all that sort of stuff. I was there for a couple of days. That was another 6-hour drive. I absolutely loved it. Just by myself on the open road. Stopped at all little towns along the way, and mate, had a ball. So it was great. I also did it earlier this year. I went from Vegas to where was it? Wherever the Hoover Dam is, Boulder City. Drove then to the Grand Canyon and then back. I just loved it, mate. So I'll be doing a little bit more of that. When I think of 80s music, you must have Metallica, Four Horsemen, Master of Puppets, Creeping Death, and Sanitarium. Yeah, well, I just remember one of the big albums, the Black Album. Just crazy how good that album was. Who remembers Rage early mornings on TV back in the day? Mate, I used to watch Rage every single week. And it'd be on all night, just music videos one after the other. I remember they used to put on an AC/DC one. They do like 3 or 4 hours of just straight AC/DC. It was awesome. And but just some great music back then. I'm with you, Lincoln. Yep, every week I used to watch it. Yep, it was the shit, Damien. All right, Tommy, how are you there, mate? Did you see the Boots or Janabek possibly getting upset this weekend? That's a negative, Tommy. I don't see either one getting upset. What's Avanasian? I think that's how you pronounce it. Oh, it's a bit of a mouthful. It was hard enough last week with the Hartunyan. Finally got that right. But nah, I would think if Boots Ennis is half the fighter that we think he is, then he would probably stop Avanasian. And it's probably a good thing to do. Probably gets his name out there a bit more. Janabek. Look, Mikhailovic, I'd like to say he's a chance, but he's capable. But Janabek, he's just something else. He really is. The guy's just a beast. Hanoi, Tripper, 80s music was the best. Then the 90s grunge came. I love grunge. I love the 80s and 90s. Hanoi, just so grateful that I was in that era. I'll go through there. Tommy again. Shakur was interviewed and he said Top Rank purposely filmed the fans leaving to make his stock drop because he isn't going to re-sign with them. I don't think that's the case. It's not Top Rank that do the telecast anyway. It's ESPN. Top Rank don't own ESPN. They put their fights on the platform. It's up to ESPN what they put on their telecast. But look, Shakur, it's a bad move. Tommy, I said it the other night on Talking Boxing. I think it's a bad move to not take that $15 million. And you got to remember, I think I saw it on ProBox as well. They talked about it. You got to remember it was a guaranteed $15 million. And we got 45 seconds out of round number 3 here, by the way. And Grush, just as I say that, scores a left hook. It looks like it was a little bit off balance. But now he lets them go. 1, 2, he's uppercuts, hooks, and he's got Mailer in a bit of trouble. I switched over right at the right time, and Mailer is in a lot of trouble here, and it is over just like that. John Mailer dominated the first 2 rounds, and in the space of about 20 seconds, Brendan Grush has ended this fight. Amazing. That is nuts. Just bang, 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 bang. Got in a roll, and that was it. There's Glenn Jennings in the ring with him. But on the Shakur Stevenson one there, Tommy, yeah, the guaranteed $15 million, and he would have been probably in line to make more if he fought the likes of Davis or Lomachenko or these types of Zapata. But it was a guaranteed $15 million, so $3 million a fight, and he lets it go to become a free agent. Now, that was a big left hook too that wobbled him. And then that was the beginning of the end. So does he think Eddie Hearn's going to come and save him? Does he think Oscar De La Hoya is going to save him? Who knows? But it's a poor decision if you ask me, Tommy. And I think, to be honest with you, Tommy, I reckon Bob Arum and Top Rank would go, thank God we got rid of that guy. So, Damien, have you thought about what you're doing for your September trip yet? Well, if I'm being completely honest, Damien, it looks like I'm going to the UFC. And I'm not a fan of UFC because UFC have got a fight night on that Mexican Independence weekend, which Mexican Independence Day weekend, which is the 14th of September this year. They've booked the Sphere. So I don't think Canelo will want to go up against the UFC probably at all, let alone like in the same city. Probably doesn't make a lot of sense. So unfortunately, unless I can get out of my flights, Damien, I might be stuck in the going to Las Vegas. Because look, if you don't know, Canelo fights in Vegas every single year on that date. And the fights were on special at the start of the year, so I booked it. I had a few extra frequent flyer points, so I booked my flight. So if I can't get out of it or delay it or whatever it might be, then I'm going to go to Vegas and go to the UFC. I will say what I am doing, Damien, if I do go on that date, I actually am going to go for a week beforehand to the East Coast. I'm not sure whether I've said this on here before, but what I'm going to do, because I've been to Vegas that many times, to be there for a week and a half, 2 weeks, whatever it is, doesn't really excite me. I've just done it over there. So, especially being over there with all the UFC meatheads, but apologies to all the UFC meatheads out there. But I'm going to fly to Philadelphia for starters. I'm going to do the tour of Philadelphia, the Rocky tour. There's an impersonator in Philadelphia, and he takes you around. He dresses like Rocky, looks like Rocky, sounds like Rocky, takes you around to all the filming locations. I'm sure I'll get to run up the steps and all that sort of stuff. Then that night, I'm actually going to have dinner at the restaurant out of Rocky Balboa, Adrian's restaurant, the Italian restaurant. So I'm going to have dinner there. Then I'm going to drive up to, what's the name of it? I can't remember where it is, but it's Muhammad Ali's old training camp. What's it called? Heavens something. What is it? Something. Anyway, it's Muhammad Ali's old training camp. So I'm going to do that. I'm also going to go to Shanksville. This might be a little bit grim for some of you out there, but I've always wanted to go to Shanksville where Flight 93 went down on 9/11. Big memorial out there. I've done the 9/11 thing in New York City, the Ground Zero. So I want to get to Shanksville, and then I'm going to get to Gettysburg. Want to see that, and then down to Washington for a couple of days as well. Then I'm going to fly over to Vegas. So I'm going to do all that in about a week, and then fly to Vegas. That's what I'm doing, mate. That's what I'm thinking at the moment anyway. At some stage, though, Damien, it might be next year now, but the deep dive tours are going to happen. I'm going to put it out there to all you guys and girls out there. If you want to come, let me know. I can handle the whole thing for you. If you are looking to go at some stage, you've always wondered what it'd be like to go and how much. If you're looking at the East Coast, so Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane return to, say, to Vegas, so that's internal flights as well, plus accommodation and for a week and a flight to the ticket, you're looking at about $5,000. So just keep that in mind. Plus you're spending money. So if you're a drinker, a gambler, whatever it might be, womanizer, then that's on top of that. But looking at about $5,000 for a week to have flights, return flights, accommodation, and a flight ticket. So next year, I'm going to do deep dive tours, and if you want to come, let's go. All right. How long were you in Samoa for? When you won the medal, did you see much of the place? My sister's holidaying Samoa now. I was in is it Apia, CHAINOI, Apia, Western Samoa. Absolutely loved it. Definitely third world, I will say, but beautiful people. Very, very poor over there, but they can't do enough for you. They, as I said, they're beautiful people. We had one of those, is a honey or whatever they are, honey, whatever it is, and they do the thing in the ground, and just had a great time over there. It's my first time overseas. Second time overseas that was when I went there. And, yeah, I had a ball over there. It's probably about a dozen of us went for the Oceania Games. And, yeah, just a beautiful place to go. Beautiful beaches and all that sort of stuff. Adam, I wouldn't be surprised if Dib gives Wilson a run for his money. Wilson is pretty average. Yeah, well, we'll see, won't we, mate? Yeah, it's I'm, again, interested to see how he performs. We did it last year against Jackson John England, remember? He won the decision over Jackson John England, who's gone on to have a good win since then. So let's see what he's got. Yep, Kyle turned down $15 million, dumbass, for 5 fights. So guaranteed $3 million. At this stage, Bob, I reckon he just needs to win. I think he just needs to win. It'd be nice to have a finish, but I think at this stage, coming off a stoppage loss, he just needs to win. Lincoln, who you got, Scott or Hall? Oh, it's a hard one. I think if it's just an up and down, traditional boxing match, I think Barry Hall wins. I think he's got a lot better skills. He's obviously had a boxing background early in his early years. It's funny though, isn't it? They love it for the build up of the fight. They were saying, he was a state champion and he could have been this and could have been that, and he went to footy. He was just a good young kid that there's probably about 100 of them in every state at the moment. But I understand, what do they say? Never let the truth get in the way of a good story. He was just another young, talented, tough kid who only had a handful of fights, by the way. won a novice Victorian title or whatever it might have been. But all of a sudden, if he hadn't played football, he would have been the next Mike Tyson. But anyway, again, it sells the fight. So, but for Scott, from what I've seen of him in his last couple of fights, always seems to have, to me, his power. I think his boxing skills leave a lot to be desired. And I think unless he really can land some bombs on Barry Hall, which is quite possible, I think Barry Hall will win. So if I had to make the call, I'm going to stick with Barry Hall to outbox Curtis Scott. But he has to survive the big bombs of Curtis Scott, or else he could end up on his ass. Bob, there. Yousef never been finished, though, so going to have to be convincing. Yeah, as I said, Bob, I'm not that stressed about him stopping Yousef Dib. I think at this point, especially when you're coming off a loss, it's just about getting back in the winner circle. It's just about getting a win under your belt and just getting back on track. So I don't think it really matters whether it's a knockout or whatever. And Yousef Dib can fight. As I said earlier, I don't think he's world class, but he's still a talented young guy. So I think he gives Wilson some headaches, but I would expect Liam Wilson to win. Does Liam Wilson need more time off after his last fight? That's a good call too, Hanoi. Really good. Yeah, it's a really good call. When was it? It was, what was it? Was it March 29th, I think it was, from memory? So, what's that? Just over 3 months ago. So maybe, yeah, it's not a bad call, Hanoi. But maybe, look, I don't think, I know he got stopped against Valdez, but I don't think it was one of those real punishing bad knockout losses that you need some time off. I think he was just caught with a volume of punches, refused to take a step back or regroup or get on his bike a little bit, and the referee called it off pretty quick. So, yeah, it's not bad. It's not a bad call, Hanoi. We'll see tonight, won't we? I, for one, don't mind if you haven't been knocked around too much. Just get straight back in there. I don't mind it. All right, Greg, you're dead right. Why change what works? Most people not live anywhere else. Minority seems to rule. Yeah, well, seems to be this. What's that quote I saw? In this day and age, it's really rung true. Smart people are being silenced so they don't upset dumb people. Or smart people are being silenced so they don't upset dumb people. That's just the way, or offend them. That's just the world we live in now, Greg. And it's a little bit that way where, okay, we don't care about what you think. We're going to this little minority over here, and unless you bend to the demands, then we're going to cancel you. I just don't like it. I don't like it. And I don't like in this day and age too where, and I suppose that all sides are guilty of it. If someone doesn't agree with you, it's like this. It's no longer is this, oh, well, we agree to disagree. It's like, no, now I'm going to do everything I can to destroy you. I want you dead. It's almost the mentality these days. All right, we've got a couple more comments. Yep. I wouldn't go to LA for sure. Well, Bob, I was there about 18 months ago, and I won't be going back for a long, long time. Now, I've been to LA many, many times. Always love going there. Love going to Hollywood. Of course, you go out to the theme parks, but I love the history. Sunset Boulevard, and you go to the Viper Room and the Whiskey Bar and all those types of places, and the Walk of Fame, and just it's so much history. You can almost smell it in the air. Went there with my family about 18 months ago, and we're only there for one night. It's the night before we came home. We're going to go to the basketball. We saw the Celtics and the Lakers. So we got a hotel just around the corner from the Hall of Fame. We're in between fights here, by the way, too, guys, so you're not missing anything. They're interviewing Nikita Tszyu at the moment and Harry Garside. Oh, there you go. Breaking news. Nikita Tszyu to defend his Australian title against Koen Mazudia next. I didn't see the date, but it will be Koen Mazudia next, guys. So breaking news right there. And they've got both boys on there. I actually thought it was Harry Garside there for a second, but it's Koen Mazudia. So not quite sure what they're saying there. The volume's down a bit. But, Bob, we're around the corner from the Hall of Fame, the Walk of Fame. Thought we'd walk up and go to get some dinner, and walked around the corner, and it was homeless people everywhere for starters, and the walk was absolutely filthy. And on the way back, walking home, and there was a car on fire. It's like engulfed in flames. And there was no one even coming to put it out. So I don't know how long it'd been burning for. But it was almost like a war zone, Bob, and I won't take my family back there anytime soon, mate. So, what's his name? Who's the governor? Gavin Newsom, mate. Get off your soapbox there and fix your friggin' state. Did I say Liam Para? I thought I did, Julian. Sorry. I thought I had him. Sorry. So there was Jai, Tim, Liam, George, the two Maloneys, Liam, Wilson, and the two girls. That's still 9. Anyway, let me know. All right, we'll keep going down there. Louis Bunsart, watching from Phetchabun, Thailand. Well, there you go, mate. Well, your boy's on tonight. How's he going to go? CHAINOI Warawat. I think he gives Sam Goodman some problems. So, what do you think, Louis? Hit the likes, guys. Yes, it does, mate. Yeah, I always forget to do that. Hit the like and subscribe, all that sort of stuff. Do you go by yourself or with your family? I go predominantly by myself, Damien. This is overseas. Once a year, I'll go with the family, although the boys are getting older sort of now, so they're not really into it. I am going in December. My youngest son is finishing year 12 this year, so it was a bit of a treat. We're going to take him over to the States. He's a Celtics nut. So he's a pretty happy boy at the moment. We went over there. So I'm just next month that fight is, by the way. Nikita Tszyu to defend Australian title against Cole Mazzuti next month. Date and location of Nikita's championship defense to be announced. So I'm assuming, I think I said this on Monday night, they normally wait for an event like this or just after to announce the next big event. So that'll be another pay-per-view, boys and girls, to get your heads around. As I said, he's a Celtics nut, so I'm going to take him over there. Last 2 years, we've been hitting the screen there, to see the Celtics. And I must admit, I've become a Celtics fan. I've never been into basketball at all. And we went to see I think they played, first year we went, they played the Miami Heat and then the Lakers. And the second year, or the one just gone, they played the Cavaliers and the Magic twice. I think they actually played them both in the playoffs as well. I'm going to try. Normally I get over twice a year by myself, Damien, and stay for a couple of weeks. I'm thinking from next year, I'm going to go maybe 3 times, but only for 1 week at a time. I really love doing the vlogs that I do for you guys, the daily vlogs. So I'm going to try and get to 3 events next year. I'm certainly not going to book in advance, though, Damien. I can tell you, I'm just going to wait until the events come up and maybe get over there just for 1 week at a time. So rather than go twice for 2 weeks, I'm going to go 3 times for 1 week. So that's the plan anyway, mate. See how the frequent flyer points hold out. But as my boys get older, I really would love to get away with my wife Tara and maybe see a little bit of the world. So what's that, Bob? Just got back from Faaty. So that's Thailand. Yep. Did you check out Graceland when you visited Memphis, says Flash? If so, what are your thoughts about it? Loved it, Flash. Now, I've never been a Elvis man. Never really got in it. Now, the fighters are coming in, by the way. Faaty on his way into the ring at the moment. There's Hussein in the corner there. Good to see him there. But I've never really been an Elvis man, Flash. But I thought, while I'm over there, I've got to go see this sort of stuff. And I looked at the map and I thought, it's a 6-hour drive. But I thought, right, I'm going to do it. I didn't really want to go straight to Vegas. I wanted to see a bit of America. So I went to Memphis, loved Graceland, learned a lot about Elvis. I didn't know anything about it. Went to his house there, actual Graceland, and then across the road they have it's almost like a theme park. It's all museums and all attractions and cafes and all that sort of stuff. But his house, geez, the old thick plush like carpet on the ceilings, on the walls. It was quite a sight actually, Flash. It was amazing just to be in his house and think, geez, what's going? And it's all almost looks like it's untouched. All sort of set up the way it was, and he's got his grave out the back there with his parents, and I think Lisa Marie might have been buried there now. But as I said, mate, I've never been an Elvis man, but I love just learning about different stuff. And I even went to what's the name of the street? There's a street there where he started there, and it's all lined with cafes and restaurants and bars and all these different things. I can't remember the name of it, but anyway, it's they've blocked it off so you can just walk up and down it, and bars and clubs and everywhere. And I went to the record place where he made his first record there as well, and yeah, no, it was awesome. I'd highly recommend it there, Flash. So introducing the boys here. I loved Flash. Loved all his cars. Thought that was great. But they had all his outfits over the years. There's probably about 100 of them. They had them all displayed. Oh, it was a sight, just crazy. And as soon as I got back, the first thing I did was watch his movie, the Elvis movie from last year. It was awesome. Got to hold his boot, Flash. I got one of the VIP tour things, so I had a private sort of thing, and I had to put the gloves on, the white gloves, but I got to handle one of his boots that he used on stage and all this sort of stuff. And out the back of his house is his shed, all got bullet holes in it where he used to practice shooting from his porch out the back. So, yeah, it was pretty cool. What's that, Lincoln? Great memories fighting your brother Scott back in the 80s. Lincoln. Okay, I do remember you, Lincoln. There you go. Hope you're well anyway. Lincoln, yes, if you're the one I'm thinking of. So we're into round number 1, by the way. That was a long time ago, Lincoln. A long time. I think you fought him, if you're the one I'm thinking of, I fought him maybe a couple of times. All right. I'll go back to some comments there. All right. Fighters Heaven, Damien. That's it. That is it. I think I missed a few comments here. I'll go back. So in the round number 1 here, guys, we've got Morovic versus Faaty. I'll keep you updated on that. I remember, Lincoln, you gave him a couple of really tough fights, by the way. Todd Hull, Brendan Grush, world class. I reckon he gives Justice Hooney a run. Todd, mate, I like your optimism, but I'm sorry, I don't think he gets anywhere near Justice Hooney. There are levels, as they say, but I like your outlook anyway, mate. No, he didn't, Larry. Surely not. Oh, I'm messing around. Shakur signed with Don King. Have you say there, Todd? Slow down, Todd. Grush has only had 4 fights. Yep. So Morovic can fight. He had a. I won't look it up now. I'm pretty sure he had a really good win. Oh, he just got nailed with an uppercut there from Faaty, who can fight. Oh, big right hand. Down goes Morovic. You could just see that coming. Right hand straight down the centre. And Morovic is down and in a bit of trouble. He's up, though. He's up at 8. Let's see if he can hang in there. He's a tough guy, but that was a ripper shot. Right hand straight down the middle. And Faaty is now going for the kill. And another big right uppercut. And down he goes again. And I think that will be it. Very slow to try and get back to his feet. And I don't think he's going to beat the count here, guys. No, he's up. Looks very shaky. Very shaky. And I'm surprised they didn't stop the fight there. And I don't think this is going to go much longer. As he wears another uppercut, right hand. He's wobbling. I don't know why the referee's letting this go. And now waves it off. So that is a first round stoppage to, what was his name? Oh, he does the backflip there. First round knockout there, guys. And Billy Dibb in the corner there says, cop that. He's going to do another one. Here we go. He's going for the top rope. And he sticks it. Look, if I'm being honest, guys, I know they get full of adrenaline and everything else. I don't like to do that or celebrate too hard until maybe see the other guys maybe okay and just let the dust settle a little bit. I don't like, again, I know there's lots of adrenaline rushing through the veins there, but when they actually knock a guy out or stop him and they immediately go over there to almost cuddle him, the last thing the guy wants after you've just belted him is to give you a cuddle. So just showing the replay there. Just go back to your corner, celebrate, do whatever you got to do, and just wait. That was a big right hand, by the way. Just caught him straight down the centre. Just dropped that left hand and just wore it. Was that list? It'll be massive. At least this will be massive first, and they are going all out. Big. This is Turkey. What's it say? Big Turkey's involved. It should be pretty good. Yes, I think is that Turkey LL Sheik. Yep. Damon, yep, we'll be. Yep, can't wait for that, mate. This is a Rocky thing I'm talking about. I am very lucky, Damien. I've been very blessed so far, mate, to be in a position to do it. I have worked pretty hard, though, I will say, but I'm lucky to be in a position now and to be able to do it. And that's what I intend to keep doing as long as I can, mate. Fighters Heaven is the name of it, Damien. That's Muhammad Ali's camp, yep. Brandon Grush won the fight there, Rohit. Rugby League going to smash AFL next. I think it is, actually. Yeah, no, I think it is. Hang on, let's have a quick look. So we've had Polkinghorn, we've had Grush, no, Liam Wilson up next. Todd, Liam Wilson up next. G'day, Andy. How you going there, mate? Welcome to the show. Make sure you like the page there, guys. Can confirm the deep dive tours are worth it. Yes, Jack. Jack came over with us last year for Jason Maloney's fight in Stockton and also the Andy Maloney fight in Las Vegas, and did a great job working for Top Rank, if you will, by the way. Jack, you could have mentioned that. At ringside, taking photos at the MGM Grand, ringside, taking photos of the fight card. Amazing, mate. And, of course, being ringside for Jason's fight as well. Yep, Andy, Rocky Tour sounds all right. Yep, I can't wait, to be honest. I know it's pretty cheesy, but there's videos of him. I looked him up on YouTube. He's had videos with Sylvester Stallone. Takes him to all the sites around Philadelphia, the statue, the stairs, all that sort of stuff. So his apartment. So I can't wait, mate. Lincoln, a Huggy. Yes, that's what I did in Samoa. What's your plans for these deep dive tours? Well, what I'm going to do, mate, I'm going to actually plan the trip. I'm going to say, all right, we're going to go, let's just say, I don't know, let's say Tim Tszyu's fighting in February or March next year in Las Vegas. I will say, all right, if you want to come, these are the details. These are the dates we're going. This is where we're going to stay. This is what it entails. I think the first one I'll dip the toe in the water a little bit, mate, and pretty much just organize or help organise airfares, accommodation, and the fight tickets are all together, and maybe see if we can line up a meet and greet or something with not so much probably Tim, but it might be a sit down with someone like a Glenn Jennings or something. I don't know. I'm just putting it out there, but something where it's what it's designed for. Damien is if you're like me, you love to go. If you want to get to the fights, maybe you haven't got anyone to go with. You're not really sure about whether you want to travel by yourself. You don't know the way it all works, when the weigh-in is, when the press conference is, where the gyms are and different sites to see. So it's really just saying, okay, well, just come along. That's all. It's certainly not anything that you get for the Super Bowls and all that sort of stuff. But if you're out there and you want someone to go with, there'll be a little party that will say, just come with us and come along. No obligations to do anything that I do or anyone else does. Just come along so you've got someone to travel with, show you the ropes, give you some suggestions. And if you want to come along with me and do what I do, that's great. If you just want to go and do your thing, then that's great. Just meet me in the airport on the way home. That's sort of what it's designed for, Damien. But I know there's a lot of you out there that will probably love to go, have maybe dreamt about going over to Vegas for a big fight. Maybe don't have anyone to go with or whatever. Here's your chance to go with other people that maybe by themselves as well, and just have someone to travel with. So, but I'll wait for the right event, and then we'll test the waters. All right. Yep. Andy Apia, second island, Upolu, is it? Opalu? Western Samoa, self-sufficient, growing their own veggies. Yeah, I loved it over there, Andy. And look, it's, as I said, very, very poor, but you would never know it. Just beautiful people. They really were. All right, Andy. I'm expecting Scott to win, but good luck to Baz for having another go at his age. Both look fit. Doesn't look 47, does he, mate? That's for sure. What's that form is Rosman? A link, please. I don't have a link for you there, mate. If you want to watch the fights, we can't do it on here. They'll just cut the stream, mate. So I can't do it. So I did say it wasn't a live stream. I just said it was a watch along. It's you watching me watch the fight and letting you know what's going on. Geez, that didn't age well, Bob. That goes to show how far I'm behind. I've got Markovic in the next fight. Well, there you go. All right, Carl, g'day, listening in. Definitely not paying for this. I fully understand it, mate. I apologise too. I haven't really given you too much so far except the actual results. I haven't done a lot of commentating, but we will for the next the next 3 fights anyway. All right, Bob, what's that? Where are we? My uncle said the same thing about LA. Said the homelessness and drug addicts, shit everywhere. It was a culture shock. It certainly was. They just don't do anything to clean it up, Bob. You got people walking around the streets of LA that are seriously mentally ill or really down on their luck. Now, there's a lot that actually choose to live on the streets. I know that's hard for us here to get our heads around, but there are a lot that choose to live on the streets. Not to say they don't deserve help, but there are some people over there that are got serious mental problems and don't get any help at all. You got veterans living on the street, which makes me sick. People that have fought for that country getting shoved aside for illegal immigrants and whoever else they want to bring over, and they get given everything. And you've got veterans living on the street. Again, it makes me sick. All right, Andy, Western society definitely is crazy these days with all this woke BS. Don't get me started on the woke shit, mate. Can't stand it. Again, I understand times have changed and you've got to move with it and all that, and I understand little things of yesteryear aren't the same as they are today, but I'm certainly not going to be called a racist or a homophobe or a sexist or whatever the hell you want to call me just because I uphold Western values or traditional values. And if loving your country is wrong, then I don't want to be right. Although having said that, sometimes I just wonder where the country's going. But anyway, it still doesn't stop me from loving what Australia used to be anyway. Do you think CHAINOI WARAWAT is a live dog? Puncher's chance maybe. I can get him at plus 900 to win. Look, Tommy is definitely in with a chance, I will say. I have seen a little bit of him on YouTube. Again, I said this in my preview. It does remind me just a tad of someone like an Inoue. He's not Inoue. Don't come at me. But he does like to wait, and then he'll explode with 3, 4, 5 really hard punches. And he doesn't just tap, 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 tap. When he punches, every punch has got power on it. So that's a bit of a danger. I think he's definitely a chance. But the thing is, though, what I look at, Tommy, is that Sam Goodman's one fight away from fighting Naoya Inoue. Do you really think they're going to risk that against someone when they're 3 or 4 months away from a world title shot? That's the thing that makes me swing way back towards Goodman. And he's a house fighter. Let's not forget that. So look, I think Worawat's going to remind me a little bit, and we're just seeing Yousef Dib about to make his ring walk. I think he's going to remind us. I can't remember who it was. I think it was Jason Maloney fought a tie on the Kambosos Haney 2 undercard. And again, I can't remember his name, but he was a tough guy. Gave Jason a good, solid 12 rounds, but was never really a chance to win. And that's what I think we get tonight. I think he's tough. He's hard. He goes 12, has his moments, digs in. Sure, Sam will be a very sore boy tomorrow, but wins the majority of the round. So, again, I just don't see why they would risk the fight with Inoue in a fight like this. What's that, Bob? Fully understand. Not a safe space for the family anymore. Unfortunately, it's not, mate. It's not. Brandon won there. Rohit. Yes, there's another one. I can't pronounce your name there, mate, but welcome to the stream, mate, or the watch along. Carl, I did see that, mate. August 9, Costa gets inducted in the Hall of Fame about bloody time. Well, the funny thing is, though, Carl, he is actually in the Hall of Fame, the International Hall of Fame. This one he's being inducted in is the Las Vegas Hall of Fame, which I'm sure is great, but he's already in the International Hall of Fame. So I think it's just another award for him that I'm sure he's very appreciative of, but it's the Las Vegas Hall of Fame, not the international one. He's already in it. Brandon won, Rohit. Brandon Grush won. Julian, overseas vlogs are grousing, and thanks, mate. I appreciate that. Well, I'll be doing another one for, well, it might be the UFC yet. Let's hope not. But I'll do it. I'll do a UFC deep dive vlog. But as I said, mate, I want to do more. If I lived in the States, Julian, I reckon I'd be away every week or two. And if they're on the same weekend or within a week or something, I might go on the road and get a bit of footage and do a couple at a time. But yeah, I just love it's the thing though, Julian. I love travelling and I love the boxing. Look, I've been to a lot of fights here in Australia and I'll continue to support it, but you can't beat going overseas to those big fights. All right, Carl. I don't think he has a chance, to be honest. Goodman needs a good showing. All eyes are on him, yeah. I thought he was good in his last fight, but Sleeves didn't offer much, did he? Bob, never count a Thai fighter out, but I still got Goodman. Yep, I agree. Yep, they've got a heart, 100%. Carl, they always come to fight. Always, without hesitation. What do we got there? I've lost my place again, but I will go down. Where are we? I'll go back to the comments there, guys. Where are we? Doesn't tend to rotate or go down a lot, so I've got to actually manually do it. All right. There's James Brown in the chat. G'day, everyone. I'm going to India next year. Well, geez, okay. That's why I'm saving my money and listening in here. Yeah, do it, mate. Do it. $60 to $60, mate. India, that's an interesting country. I've never really thought about going to India. I've been to a lot of countries, though, I must admit, and I just love North America. I was lucky enough, Liam Wilson making his ring walk, by the way. I've been lucky enough to, obviously, States, Canada, Mexico, Malaysia, Thailand, South Africa, Hungary, Finland, England. So I've had a fair old crack at it. But out of all of them, not a massive fan of Europe. I loved Italy, by the way. Went to Rome, Paris, so. But yeah, I just, for some reason, I've always loved America. Ever since primary school, I reckon it was. I'm always infatuated with America. And now that's why I'm so lucky and grateful that I'm able to get over there, 2, 3, maybe 4 times a year. So if I didn't love Australia so much and where we live, I'd probably try and get over there, to be honest. All right, Carl, Warawat needs a Nonito versus Victor Chenian type of performance. Yeah, it's not a bad way. Jeez, what a fight that was, eh? I'm not sure, Sam. I'm sure someone will hook you up with a stream. One day a fighter is going to do a backflip off the top rope and blow their ACL, and on that day, I'll laugh my ass off. I like that. I was actually thinking the same thing there, Kyle. I was thinking, geez, they land awkwardly, don't they? And all it takes is to land a little bit off, and there goes your ACL, and you're out for 12 months. No such thing with Aussie cards, Sam. Oh, with the stream, yep. Todd, Liam Wilson should be co-main event, not third. 100% agree, mate. But it is what it is. So they're doing the introductions at the moment. There is Yousef Dib, 22 fights, 21 wins, 1 loss, 11 KOs. Yui Dib. All right. I will keep you up to date there, Damien. Now, if that Carl, it's about 5K for a trip. I'd be keen as mustard. Yep, be good to have you there, mate. That's flights. Well, I think you're from Queensland, say Brisbane. Return flights, LA to Vegas, accommodation on the strip. I always like I don't say in too flashy places. They're good places, but you'll never get me staying in like the Bellagio or the Venetian or the Wynn or anything like those. I mean, the prices are just absolutely ridiculous. But you will have to pay probably $300 to $400 a night, and most of that's what do they call them, the resort fees, which is ridiculous. But apart from spending money, mate, that should be enough. Jeez, am I that far behind? Am I? Sorry. All right, so we're about to start round 1. We'll get into it. All right. I'm getting there, guys. All right, here we go. Round number 1. Liam Wilson, Yousef Dib. So forgive me if I didn't get to your comment. I'll do a few more in between rounds. I'm going to go for Liam Wilson there, Andy. And I'm with you there, Carl. Retired football is ridiculous. Hang on, I'll get that on there. All right, so both boys feeling each other out. Not much exchange jabs. There's a nice little overhand right with Liam, who's the aggressor, which is Thought he might back up a little bit, Liam, but he's coming forward. He's got that look on his face where he's very intent on a statement win here tonight. Dib just on the back foot, boxing cautiously for starters. You would think that Dib would be very conscious of that left hook from Liam Wilson. And he did get nailed from Zalewski, if you remember. Hasn't really thrown anything. A couple of jabs, Dib. But Liam Wilson coming forward and, as I said, looking like he means business. Yes, Ross. Bloody resort fees, that's for sure. They'll kill you. All right. Oh, there you go, guys. We've got 107 people watching at the moment. So welcome to everyone that's tuned in. Make sure you like and subscribe to the page. We do this fairly often. All right. Halfway through round number 1. And not a lot so far. Liam Wilson just inching forward, looking for the jab. Has thrown a couple of right hands that have just sort of missed. And Dib content just to jab to the head, jab to the body, move to the left, move to the right. Just get a feel of what Liam Wilson's got. Yep, there's a good chance is CHAINOI. And you get there's a nice little left rip to the body from Liam Wilson. You sort of get the feeling that, you know, when you get someone like Liam Wilson that has fought on the big stage over there, it's almost like they get a little bit offended. They have to come back to Australia. There's a nice little right hand from Yousef Dib, counter right hand. They get a little bit offended. They've got to come back to Australia and fight domestic level opponents. Yeah, he did, Carl, that's for sure. So we've got 40 seconds to go in round number 1. It's turned out to be an evenish type of round, although so far I'll probably just say Liam Wilson's got it just on the aggression. He did land not a bad right hand early in the fight, early in the round. Yeah, Carl, he pokes a little bit, doesn't he? And he is open for that counter right hand, is Liam Wilson. He just pokes that jab out. I wouldn't mind him just spearing the jab a little bit more. Yousef Dib's got a pretty good jab. Oh, a couple of right hands on the bell. And Liam tries to go with him. Look, I'm going to give, I know, probably goes against what I said for the majority of the round. I think Yousef Dib did enough towards the end of that round. Liam Wilson was probably more the aggressor early without landing a lot. But just towards the end of the round, Yousef Dib did step up the pace and did land a couple of right hands in the last 10 seconds there. So, look, really close round. But I'm going to give that round to Yousef Dib. Very, very close. And as I'm going there too, guys, I might... Where are we? I'm going to do... Yeah, he threw some good shots. Not sure I can do that. I was going to put the scores up. But I thought, yeah, I don't know. It's a really even round, I thought, guys. What did you guys think? What's that there? Lincoln, have you heard of Jake Wiley? Yes. He's Brisbane boy, went pro last year, had 5 pro fights, won 4, lost 1. Went to school with him, bloody good fight. Yeah, I have heard of him, mate. And I think he trains with Luke Meldon, I think, doesn't he? And Steve Della, I think, from memory. So into round number 2, what do we think, guys? It was a close round, but I'm gonna, as I said, I think I just gave it to Yousef Dib. Just not a lot of action though. All right. So Yousef Dib more content to move to his right, which is a little bit risky considering the power in Liam Wilson's hook. What's that, Matt? Should win within 5. Okay. There's a good first round. What are we, a minute into round number 2? And looks like Dib's confidence just rising a little bit here. Liam Wilson hasn't really done a lot. He's sort of poking the jab out, but again, he does leave himself open for that counter right hand. If he's going to poke the left, just spear it out. Don't just poke it out there and leave yourself open to the counter. Yousef Dib continues to move to the right, which again I think is risky, but maybe that's the game plan. exchanging jabs. Both very cautious still, which shows some respect between the guys. He's been okay, Dib. And Liam's just like he's struggling just to find his range at the moment. He's having a little bit of trouble with the movement of Dib. Does throw a right hand that Dib caught on the gloves there, and he pokes out the jab again. A little bit more authoritative with that jab too, which is good. Misses the uppercut, but lands just a little grazing hook. Better round from Wilson, who throws a left hook to the body. Already got 40 seconds to go, round number 2. Dib misses a right. Good round so far for Liam Wilson, I think. Who look, quite possibly could have won that first round. It was a close. I just gave it to Dib because he landed a couple of real clear shots at the end of the round. But didn't do a lot before that. Competitive round, this one. But I think Liam Wilson has been aggressive, throwing some good jabs. Not really a lot of punches landed by either guy, but I think Liam Wilson's done enough as we're into the last 10 seconds of round number 2. And Liam Wilson, wow, something you don't see every day. There was about 3 seconds left and he turned and just walked to his corner, anticipating the bell. And Yousef Dib said, all right, well, if you want to finish 3 seconds earlier, I'm going to have a crack, and just missed the left hook. So I think 1 round apiece so far. That's, he just waltzes off, and Yousef Dib does throw the hook. Liam Wilson has a bit of a smile and taps him on the head. He'd had enough. He'd fought 2 minutes and 57 seconds and thought that was enough for the round. He'd have 1 minute and 3 seconds off in between rounds. All right, sorry, guys. I missed a couple of comments there. David Madison, can you actually tell everyone what's going on in the fight? Commentate the whole fight, not 10 seconds of each round. Okay, well, I'll do my best. Brendan, how much would it set me back for a boxing tour, mate? Yeah, as I said, about $5,000. Were you a boxer in your time? And if so, you ever go pro? Didn't go pro, Lincoln. Went to the Olympics and Commonwealth Games and World Championships and retired after that, mate. Quite content with that. No intentions of going pro. All right, so into round number 3. Doing my best there, guys. All right, so we started round number 3. And Liam jabbing to the head, jabbing to the body. Yousef now moving to the left, which is, I think, a lot better than moving to the right, away from that left hook. Both content at the moment, just to exchange jabs, little right hand and left hook to the body from Liam. Yep, it is, John. Next month it was announced, Nikita Tszyu, Cohen Mazudia. So I'm surprised at both guys being so cautious. The jabbing, Liam does throw a left hook there that was blocked on the gloves by Yousef Dib. Both content just to jab. You can see Liam Wilson, you can see what he's trying to do. He's trying to throw the left out. He throws a 1 and a 2, and then he's trying to go for the right hand or the left hook to the body. Yousef Dib is jab to the head, jab to the body, and trying to throw that right hand over the top. But neither fighter at the moment really having a lot of success in anything. They're almost negating each other. It's a bit of a 0-0 draw at the moment. Be nice there, guys. All right, so we're halfway through round number 3. Again, Liam Wilson on the attack, jabbing the head, goes to the body there, snapping the jab. But again, as I said, both guys almost seem to be again, it's all good there, David. It's all good there, mate. Just remember, I'm not a licensed, or what do you call it, an experienced commentator. I'm doing my best here. But this round, we've got a minute to go. Just like the first 2 rounds, a little bit of blood on Yousef Dib. He has copped some jabs, but Liam, neither fighter's really landing anything of note. They're both jabbing. I think Liam Wilson's having the better of the jabs. He's got a little bit more stick in it now, and Yousef Dib already just starting to feel the effects of the pressure that Liam Wilson's putting on. Misses the overhand right there, Liam Wilson. It's a nice little straight right that hits the mark. $70 for sure, Damien. Don't be surprised if it goes up due to inflation, by the way, soon. Right hand over the top from Wilson, but nice little counter right hand from Dib that got Wilson's attention. Oh, uppercut from Liam Wilson. Good shot. Left hook to the body. That stung. And Dib on the back foot now. And, does land a nice counter right hand, Dib. Another counter right hand. Look, Liam, you think would be winning the round as round 3 comes to an end. Look, it was a tough round to score. I think for the first 2 minutes and 40 seconds of the round, I think Liam Wilson had the better of it. Dib did land a couple of really nice counter right hands in the last 20 seconds, but I think for the body of work, I'm going to give that round to Liam Wilson. Look, I'm impressed so far with Dib, but for me, he needs to get a little bit more aggressive. This whole pity pat just on the back foot did eat a really nice uppercut from Wilson. Who then went to the body, hit him on the elbows. But I just don't know whether Dib can win a decision by being as negative as he is. I know that's his style, but Liam Wilson is the bigger name. He's the aggressor. If you will, he's the A side. So I don't like the strategy of boxing off the back foot without really putting anything into those punches and just trying to tap your way to a win. You never know. We've seen some interesting decisions in the last while, but I think Liam Wilson for me, 2 rounds to 1. Not announced yet, Damien, just next month, mate. Location and date to be announced, I'd say, in the next couple of days. All right, David says Wilson in the 7th. We'll see. We're in the round number 4, 20 seconds in. Right hand lands from Liam Wilson, and Dib just looks like he's slowed down just a tad, and Liam Wilson is starting to find his range. The jab is getting more on the mark, and he's now landing the right hand and left hooks to the body. I just don't think Dib's going to have the power to keep Liam Wilson off for 10 rounds. And now he's just tending to lie on the ropes and in the corner a little bit at the moment. And Liam Wilson coming forward. Again, sticking out the jab. Looks pretty strong at the weight, does Liam Wilson. There's a right hand from Liam Wilson. We do, Damien. It's good. It's good to see. But I think if you're going to win a fight like this, you need to have some sort of element of power to get the respect and attention of Liam. And he's just sort of, he's moving to his left, he's moving to the right with that little jab to the... It's okay early in the fight to get your range, but now the pace is sort of settled. Liam Wilson looks a lot stronger. Jab's got a lot more on it. He's now starting to load up inside, and I just don't think Dib has got the power to go with him. There's Peter. How you going there, mate? It's Colin Mazzuti, Carl. It's been announced, mate, next month. So we've got 1 minute and 15 to go in round number 4. Another good round for Liam Wilson, who looks very confident at the moment. Very confident. Nice right hand lands from Liam Wilson over the top of that left hand. And, Liam Wilson looking good at the moment. Looks patient, looks composed. He's not losing his cool, which he's been guilty of. Good to see some Thai comments in there as well, guys. I can't understand what they are, but good stuff to have here anyway. So Yousef going back to his right. He is still poking out the jab, but Liam Wilson is cutting the ring off now, spearing the jab, and it gets in close now. He's starting to really let that right hand go to the head and that left hook to the body. I doubt it there, Damien. I doubt it'd be shown anywhere in the world except Australia, to be honest, mate. Another good shot from Liam Wilson there. 10 seconds to go in round number 4. Good round from Liam Wilson. Yeah, and Dib, look, he's trying. I just don't, again, think he's got the power or strength to go with Liam Wilson at this stage. That's right, Bob. My name's Lyndon. That's it. It's all good, mate. And you spelled it right as well. Most people spell it with an O. All right, so they're just interviewing Barry Hall at the moment. Looks nice and composed. I'd say this interview was done quite a while ago, though, because he's It looks like he's just getting his hands wrapped at the moment. And considering he's up in about half an hour, I think it's a little bit close to the fight. I think he'd be already warming up, I'd say, Barry. Now, it's a 6-rounder. I'm not sure whether it's a 3-minute rounder or a 2-minute rounder. Yeah. Yep. I agree, Peter. I was interested to see how he would react to a fighter on Liam's level. And so far, look, he's hung in there, but I've got it 3 rounds to 1 so far as we start round number 5. Liam coming forward again. Busy with the jab again. Dib, I would have thought has been told he needs to step it up because at the moment he's just being pushed back. He does poke the jab out there, and now he's starting to actually come forward. Let's see if he can put a few on Liam and make him sort of go backwards. There's a couple of jabs and then goes to the body, but Liam doesn't look phased. A little bit of blood, looks like 2 on the nose of Liam Wilson as well, so both boys have drawn blood. Exchanging jabs, that's what happens when you're trading jabs all night. You're going to get a blood nose. Right hand from Liam Wilson over the top. And Dib comes back with a solid jab of his own. So round number 5. A left hook to the body. Looked a little bit low from Liam, but he got away with it. And Dib, as I said, you can almost see he's being told he needs to step it up because now he's starting to come forward and trying to sit down a little bit on his shots. But again, Liam Wilson just looks too big and strong for him. He looks like he carries the weight really well. Both boys exchange right hands there, and both boys have blood noses. Good jabs from both guys here. 3 minutes, okay. Thanks, Todd. Yep, okay, cool. So just over halfway into round number 5. We're getting interesting here because he hasn't landed any big punches, Dib, but he's definitely having some success now. He's coming forward and he's throwing more than one punch at a time. And he does wear a right hand there that looks a little just, I don't know, it's just maybe he does look a little bit fatigued now, Liam Wilson. And he does wear a right hand from Yousef Dib there. Nice right hand. Yes. Tara says his left hand is low. Is Wilson, and she's right because he's wearing right hands now over the top. Good round from Yousef Dib so far. 35 seconds to go in round number 5. And this is where Liam Wilson has to really keep his cool. Don't get caught up going punch for punch with Yousef Dib. He needs to keep his composure, which he's been guilty of not being able to do. But a good round for Yousef Dib, I think, this one. Where's another right hand, Liam Wilson? And now it looks like Yousef Dib has found his range. And what he's doing, he's jabbing, but he's coming forward when he throws the double jab. Then he's throwing the right hand afterwards and having success. Liam coming forward again, but he looks like he's a little bit out of sorts at the moment, Liam. Although he does land a right hand at the bell. So I'm going to give that round to Yousef Dib. Some good punches. And Benny Harrington has a few words with Liam Wilson in the corner. Probably quite rightly so. He stood straight up, didn't move his head at all. The hands were dropping, and he wore some right hands. So I think good round for Yousef Dib. 3 rounds to 2 for me. Some good right hands here. Did miss a left hook, though, Liam Wilson, just. What's that, Carl? Liam never had an issue at the weigh-in. He has, however, had a lot of controversy with some weigh-ins. He has. It's that Lincoln. Definitely going to follow your journey from now on. You seem like a great guy. Hey, I am a great guy, Lincoln. I'm just joking. I appreciate it, mate. But good to have you along. Yeah, I think it was just a little slip up there, Hanoi. Missed weight. I wouldn't read too much into it. He just miscalculated. His scales were 100% right. According to him, he was on weight and just couldn't get it done in the end. What's that there? Sorry, Roger. Who do you think is winning, says Moulton. I've got it 3 rounds to 2 for Liam Wilson so far there, mate. All right. Yousef Dib definitely looks a lot more confident in this round now. Liam Wilson, I think he's just got to. I'm sure Benny Harrington would have said between rounds, Liam, get back, focus, don't get caught into this. And Dib is coming forward now, which is not something I thought I'd be saying. And Liam does look really out of sorts at the moment. He looks fatigued. He's not throwing as many punches, and Yousef Dib is really looks like he's got a leg up at the moment. He's really pushing forward. So a minute into round number 6, I'm not sure what's happened to Liam. It's like he's just stopped. Throws a 1-2 there, but and a nice little left hook to the body. But just his mouth's open, breathing, just doesn't look himself. He does look a little bit gassed at the moment, and the fight hasn't really been at a fast pace. 5-0 Billy, 5-0 Wilson, says Billy. Well, okay, that's cool. I don't agree with that. I got it 3-2. All right, so a minute 20 to go in round number 6. All right, a minute to go, round number 6. And both exchanging jabs again. Even round, really up for grabs. Probably looks, if I've probably got to pick a fighter so far, I'd probably just say maybe Liam Wilson's been a little bit more aggressive. Yousef Dib hasn't thrown anywhere near as many punches, and he's back on the back foot. I think he was having a lot more success when, strange enough, he was coming forward. He does poke a few through the defence of Liam Wilson there, but hopefully Liam Wilson can get himself back on track here. Yeah, stars, his jab is terrible. It's not really a jab, is it? He's just sort of poking it out there. But again, his mouth is wide open, Liam Wilson. So 10 seconds to go, round number 6. Look, I think he's done enough to win the round, but definitely not convincing. Better round. And Dib comes back with a right hand and left hand on the bell. What's that? Do you think Bali can become a boxing training base like Thailand has? Maybe. It could, Hanoi. No, Bali. I know they do little retreats and all that there, don't they? But I don't think so. You got to have the sparring and coaches and all that there, mate. And I think that's in Thailand. I can't understand a word of it there, Adam. But I'm glad they're in the chat. I really am. So I've got it 4 rounds to 2 so far. And breaking news from old mate Big J, who I apologise that he didn't have a chance to ring you today. Am I allowed to mention this? You shouldn't have sent it to me if you didn't want me to announce it, mate. But it looks like Michael Zarafa might be fighting Tommy Brown next. And I did see that both Tommy Brown and Michael Zarafa both said big news coming. Does make sense, Big J. I didn't hear it. That's the first time I've heard it from you, but wouldn't surprise me. And if that is the case, what is Michael Zarafa doing? Why don't you just retire? Just be done with it. That's a waste of a fight. Absolute waste. But anyway, that's a different story. All right. What's that, Peter? Is it just me? I hear Wilson speak. He sounds like he's taken some damage. Unfortunately, yes, Peter. I think I'm with you there, mate. All right. 20 seconds into round number 7. Liam Wilson coming forward. Yousef Dib moving right, flicking out the jab, trying to land the right hand that just Liam takes on the gloves. So I've got it 4 rounds to 2 for Liam Wilson. But does still look a little bit gassed. Maybe his second win's about to come. We are in round 7, of course. But Liam Wilson continues to walk forward, just probing the jab, looking for the right, and he wears a counter right hand from Dib there, and another one. It's a good plan from Dib, but he needs to step it up. He was having a lot more success when he was coming forward. Another right hand lands from Dib. Both boys exchange jabs. Tommy Brown, Damien, he got knocked out by Anthony Mundine about 6 or 7 years ago in 1 round or 2 rounds, whatever it was. Handy fighter back in his day, but well past his peak. I think he's been retired for the last 3 years, so Left hook to the body from Liam Wilson. And Dib looks a little bit hurt there. He got hit with a shot in close and looks like he's no, he looks okay now, but Liam Wilson certainly thinks he's got him hurt because he comes forward and now Dib ties him up. It is, Julian. It's great, mate. If they can understand me, that's awesome. 1-2 from Dib. It's a tough round to score. Another 1-2 from Dib lands and another right hand. Liam goes to the body, but I think they were low. It's an interesting fight now because now we're looks like we're both almost in the trenches now. So 40 seconds to go, round number 7. Interesting round. Hard round to score. And it's an interesting now. It almost looks like we're in the trenches now. Both of them in close, ripping uppercuts and hooks. Both having success. 20 seconds to go. I doubt Zarafa wants the fight, to be honest, Damien, between me and you. Good right hand from Dib lands. We've got 10 seconds to go. And look, I think it's a really hard round to score. Yes, Carl, shout out to Thailand. Look, I'm gonna, it's as close to an even round as you can get, but I'm actually gonna give that round to Yousef Dib. I know a lot of you out there might disagree, but I just thought he landed the more effective shots. Liam Wilson probably looked a little bit busier, had his success as well, but I think the real telling punches, the ones that looked like they really affected Liam, came from Yousef Dib. Rocked him a couple times. I know Dib also had a moment there as well, but I think over the journey of the round, landed a big right hand right on the bell too. I don't like seeing Liam take those types of shots, even though Dib's not a big puncher. It's just starting to have an effect. So I wish Tim did a fight in Thailand. How awesome would be. What's that, Lincoln? Have they put up the stats with shots hit? Who's got the better of it? Nah, they don't normally do that there, Lincoln. We don't really have the champion data or what it is, the CompuBox stats here. But round number 8, I've got it 4-3. Both boys jabbing. Liam does land a little right, and Dib comes back with his own right. All right, pushes Liam Wilson down. All right. He's looking a little bit shaky at the moment, Carl, is Liam. Although he hurts Yousef Dib, and he's down! Wow! And that will be it. Can you believe that? I've just said he looks shaky, and he's just knocked Yousef Dib out. Knocked him out. And I didn't quite... I think it might have been a right uppercut and a left hook. But either way, Yousef Dib is out cold. Just like that. That is boxing, ladies and gentlemen. That's why it's a 10-round fight. I'm just looking to see what it was here. It was a left hook. There it was. Rattled him. Almost made him freeze in time. And then another big left hook. And that was it. 2 massive left hooks. And then a little uppercut on the way down to say thanks for coming. So the right, it was a left hook. Then a massive left hook. And then a right hand left uppercut. And that was it. To the point where his legs actually buckled underneath him, crossed over. As they say, guys, levels. There's levels in this sport. Now, look, I will admit, I thought Liam Wilson might have been in a little bit of trouble, but again, that's why it's a 10-round fight. So round number 8, we have a knockout win to Liam Wilson. It is Kyle. Great KO. The commentators, good question. I think is it Ben Damon and definitely Ben Damon. Let's have a listen. Great win for Liam Wilson. I don't think was the most impressive performance. I don't think it was his. Oh, I was going to say it's not his most convincing performance, but geez, when you ice a guy like that, it was a left hook, buck with the knees. He retreated to the ropes. Liam then landed another big left hook, which was pretty much it. And as he was going down, he landed a little right hand and a left uppercut just to put an exclamation point on the fight. What's that there, Tommy? What's your opinion on framing in boxing? They say it's illegal, but I see fighters use this a lot. Okay, Sean and Shakur both used it a good amount this past weekend. Fill me in there, Tommy. I'm not quite familiar with what you mean by framing. Let me know and I'll give you my opinion. Peter, great win by Wilson, but he takes far too much punishment. Way too much punishment for me, Peter. And Yousef Dib's not a big puncher. I don't like sometimes, and Tara hit it on the head there, where he comes in, he's straight up, chin slightly up in the air, and his left hand does get a little bit low when he jabs. He doesn't bring it back to his chin. And he is susceptible to hard counter punches as well. Billy Dibbs talking to Liam Wilson in the corner there. I'm hoping it's not anything untoward, but Yousef and Liam hugging, which is the main thing. I don't know what Billy Dibbs' problem is sometimes. Remember, that was the Yousef Dibb and Paul Fleming fight was going to happen, and something happened at the press conference, and Dean Lonigan just said, "Well, that's it, fight's off." After the press conference, Kyle definitely worth $60. Well, it was a good knockout. Sounds to me like he's still struggling. Was he hurt at all by Yousef's shots? It was one of those things, Carl, where it wasn't like he was in trouble, but he was getting hit with shots, whether it be a jab or a counter right hand, where you could just see him sort of shudder. Not to the point where he was doing the chicken dance or looked really visibly hurt, but you could just see every punch almost shuddering through him, if that makes sense. I don't like to see it. I don't know why Billy Dibb's still chatting to Liam Wilson and being pretty authoritative about it. Let's hope it's all good. They do embrace there, which is good. It's almost like every punch, whether it be a heavy or light one, was just rocking it or going through his core, Carl. It's hard to explain, but I don't like to see him take so many shots. The winner is CHAINOI WARAWAT, 100%. Okay, that's cool. Okay, Tommy, just sticking your arm out, straight out, without throwing a punch to keep distance and measuring your opponent. Okay. What should be illegal, Tommy? You shouldn't be allowed to do it. If they are being allowed to do it, then the referee should be pulling them up. You should not be able to, and I'm assuming you're just sort of keeping it out there and then trying to line them up. I'm thinking. No, you shouldn't be allowed to do it, mate. Shouldn't be allowed to do it. What was your question there? Actually, it won't let me go up. Sorry. Yeah. L-Dub Boxing, Cambosis Wilson next. I think only if the money's very, very good. And if there's absolutely no options on the table for George Cambosis. He laughed at the prospect of this, by the way, of the Liam Wilson fight. So, but after a knockout like that, people talk. The public might demand it. So who knows? Maybe if there's no options out there whatsoever and the money's right. You talk about paying $70 for a pay-per-view. Now, Cambosis and Liam Wilson be worth the $70 pay-per-view. And I think that would generate enough money to put that fight on. I really do. Cambosis might want $1 million to fight Liam Wilson. Liam Wilson might want, I don't know, 250. I don't know. I'm just picking a number. So it would have to generate, in the rest of the card, it'd probably have to generate sort of $2.5 to $3 million. You'd probably think. So yeah, no, not bad. Not the most convincing show by Liam Wilson, but he's pretty marked up there as well. But he made his debut. A win's a win. Dib was an okay opponent, so I've got no dramas with that. And let's hope he does get the Cambosis fight. I'd love to see it. Hanoi, Billy's an angry man at times. Yeah, well, he just needs to, as they say, Hanoi, stay in his lane, mate. Stay in your lane. All right, Barry Michael, is it? Here we go. He's going to call out George. Says he's coming off 4 losses. Give people the fight they want. Let's make the fight happen, he says. So there we go. Kambosos destroys Liam Levels. Yeah, it's an interesting one, Peter, but you got to remember, George hasn't looked convincing since he beat Lopez, and that was 3 years ago. So, oh yeah, when Tim Tszyu started, yeah, used to do it constantly. Yeah, he's been warned about it now. Didn't Lennox do that all fight versus Tua, the framing thing? Yeah, well, he used to do it a lot. Did Hanoi? Did Hanoi? I'm not talking about you, mate. I'm talking about Lennox Lewis. He did. Shouldn't be able to do it. Yeah, big knockout. Oh, it is Peter Bedell too. I'll turn it down. There's levels in boxing, but there's levels in commentating, guys. And this guy's a lightweight, a novice lightweight. Yeah, you're right, Tommy. Now you say that, it has snuck in a little bit. Let's hope they pull it up. And look, sometimes what happens in these instances, Tommy, when they get in a big fight, I know the A side at the moment, they can pretty much do what they want. The moment, let's say it's Keyshawn Davis. Now, he might come up against I was going to say Tank Davis, or it's not going to be Shakur, is it? Let's say he fights Lomachenko. I don't know, just put it out there. You would be 100% guaranteed that Egis Clemis, the manager of Lomachenko, would be sitting down saying, watch this framing, as you say, and the referee would then be conscious of it, and they would make a big noise about it. At the moment, the guys are fighting; they're in no position to, to make a case for that, or to make any noise. But when they fight someone decent, rest assured, that would be the case. Kristen March says Wilson isn't a great boxer. He's pretty basic. Yeah, he's straight up and down, but effective. He can punch. Top rank would put the Maloney brothers on the Kambosos Wilson undercard if it happens. Yep, that's definitely an option there. Bill, Hack, how are you, mate? No way Wilson beats George. I believe George by shutout. Yeah, look, I think George would win, but he hasn't looked impressive at all, Bill, in his last 4 fights. I know pretty hard to look impressive against Haney and Lomachenko, but the Hughes fight, he really struggled with him as well. But look, yeah, if I had to pick one, I would definitely say, in my opinion, George Kambosos wins the fight. Not to say I wouldn't like to see it, though. Who did Kambosos lose to, and those fighters would eat Wilson? So Haney would beat Wilson. Lomachenko would beat him, and arguably Maxie Hughes. He just had that. They've got the Janabek fight on the promo at the moment, so that's cool. It means it's going to be on. I'll just get the time here. So he's fighting Andrei Mikhailovich, the New Zealand Russian, or the Russian Kiwi, whatever you want to call him. Looks like they've got a couple of fights on the card, Muratalia and Farmer. Okay. Just looking to see the time it starts there, guys. Sunday at noon, Janabek versus Mikhailovich. So look out for that, guys. It's, what do you think about Kambosos versus Frank Martin? I don't mind it, Tommy. Look, the thing is with George, as I said before, he's in no man's land at the moment. He's in limbo. The big guys don't want to bar him now. In their opinion, he's probably finished. That's it. Done. George is gone. Had his 15 minutes. He's gone. Here in Australia, if he doesn't really want to fight the likes of Liam Wilson, or maybe Liam Paro does make sense, but I still don't see George going up to 140, even if there's a world title at stake. So he's in the middle there. Doesn't want to fight in Australia, but the big guys in the division don't want to fight him overseas. So maybe it is someone like a Frank Martin. Maybe, look, he is still aligned with Lou DiBella, so maybe, and he's there's a top rank connection there as well. So maybe he might get on another top rank show in the States, even if it is maybe co-main. That's the way he's going to get back amongst the mix. But if you look at the sites, especially like the American sites, they're pretty much like, yeah, okay, he's had his 15 minutes and see you later. So he needs to get that respect back before he gets a big fight. Now, does he do that here in Australia? Liam Wilson's still a risky fight. It's a tough one, and he's going to have to make that decision. But some interesting times for George. I still think he's got a lot left, but as we always say again, there's levels, and he's just proven that since the Lopez fight that he just hasn't been at the level. Let's hope he gets it back. What's that, Carl? I think Liam doesn't have that high of a ring IQ. Yeah, he needs to still work on his game, I think, Carl. What do we got there? He said, about Frank Martin. Just painting a wall in the living room. I might watch it dry while Barry and Curtis happens. I think it'll be explosive, Carl. Look, and the fact that Barry was knocked out in the first round of his last fight, anything can happen. He could be knocked out in the first or second round, or he might box really well. We got Brock Jarvis in behind Curtis Scott. Geez, he looks like he's a light heavyweight at the moment. Brock Jarvis. Not sure what's happening with him. He might be next after Cole Mazzutia for Nikita. It definitely looks pretty big at the moment. Wilson didn't look great. What do you reckon, Lyndon? I don't think he looked great, Jack, I will say. I thought he gassed early. I thought he ate way too many big right hands. Left hand dropped, as Tara said before. Left hand too low. Eating counter right hands. Straight up and down. No head movement. When he punched, he was just countered back straight away. Look, I don't want to knock the guy. It's a comeback fight, but he needs to improve a lot if he's going to get anywhere near back to a world title shot. What's that, Peter? How do you think Hall goes? I hope I'm wrong, but I think Scott gets a stoppage. It's I don't know what's going on with the telecast there. It's back now. It was a bit rattly. Yeah, look, I can see maybe an early round knockout, but I can also see maybe Barry outboxes Curtis. If he can stay away from his power, Peter, I think he can win. But yeah, geez, the fact that he got knocked out in the first round in his last fight is a big worry. What's that, Tommy? What's the biggest upset in Australian boxing history? Costa over Zab, Cambosis over Tszyu, or Liam over Matthias, maybe. Well, don't count Costa, Tommy. We love him here in Australia. We've embraced him, but the facts are that he's a Russian fighter that based himself here for his career and then went home. So I don't regard him as an Australian fighter. I regard him as a Russian fighter who lived here for his professional career and then went back to Russia. So that's debatable, but that's my opinion. Biggest upset. I think definitely Cambosis over Tszyu would be up there. Yeah, Liam Matthias. What about, going back in the day, Johnny Famechon beating Legras, Lionel Rose fighting Harada, Jeff Harding beating Dennis Andrews. I'm just trying to think of some others out there. Jeff Horn over Pacquiao. That's probably got to be it, doesn't it? Jeff Horn beating Pacquiao, I think, would be the biggest upset in Australian boxing history. Tommy Goodman upset over Inoue. As Curtis Scott enters the ring, by the way, Tommy, I'm glad. I respect him so much for wanting the Inoue fight. But I'll say it again. I think it's got 1 or 2 rounds written all over it, if I'm being completely honest. Julian, great win for Liam. Confidence building. Have a spell, Liam. Well done. Yeah, and whoever said it before about maybe coming back too soon, maybe we saw that tonight because he just didn't look. Started off really well, but I thought he really struggled in those rounds until he got the knockout. I wouldn't mind. Actually, whoever said it before, I'd probably agree that maybe he should have taken the rest of the year off, or maybe October, November, December, something like that. But to me, just looked like maybe it was a bit soon tonight. He just didn't look himself. Todd, okay, mate. I heard you the first time. Always too tough for the AFL boys. It's because they're so big, Todd. I know Barry Hall's got the advantage tonight, but just different body sizes and power. So that, Carl, this will be just like a boxing match, only way slower and a lot less skilled. Good way to look at it, mate. I never heard that before in Costa, so he's more Russian. Yeah, he's a Russian fighter, Tommy. Born and raised in Russia, had 300, 400, whatever it was, amateur fights over there. Came to Australia for the 10 or 12 years, whatever it was, or 15 years, whatever it was, while I was a pro, and then went back to Russia. So he's a Russian, mate. We love him, though. We love Costa. Jeff Harding beating Dennis Andrews was huge. He was losing that fight until he sparked him. Yeah, he did. He was losing nearly every round, Carl, and came out in the last round and won the title. Goodman doesn't have enough power to beat Inoue, says Kirsten. I agree, mate. I think that's the case. Just looking at the tail of the tape, Barry Hall, it says he's 42, but he's actually 47. Curtis Scott, 26. Weight, 94 for Scott, 106 for Barry Hall. So some big size differences there. I agree with you there, Kirsten. I just don't think Goodman has the power, and you need to have something to keep Inoue off, something to have some sort of respect that you can keep him off. Because if Inoue doesn't respect you and you haven't got the power to keep him off, what's going to happen? You know, he's a murderous puncher. What's Sam Goodman going to do? He's going to run and, you know, and side to side for 2 or 3 rounds. If he's lucky, eventually the odds are it's all over. Yep, I agree, says Todd. Lionel Rose Harada. Yep, Lionel Rose also defended his titles twice again in the same year. Is Costa's sister married to Tim Tszyu's trainer? That's a good question. I don't know. He is the uncle of the Tszyu boys. Good question. I've got a feeling he's Eagle, maybe Natalie or Natalia's brother. I don't know. Either way. What's up, Peter? So the boys getting introduced at the moment. Barry Hall, 0, 1, and 1. Hope Wilson gets a tap on the shoulder and retires and enjoys his family. Let's hope so. He's a beautiful family too. I saw him over in Arizona earlier in the year, and certainly has got a lovely family. Beautiful little kids. Nikita Tszyu, Brock Jarvis would be a fight worth watching, 100% there, mate. If you can't beat Inoue, why put him in there? Well, because he's got the belts there, Todd. That's what they fight for. It's what they get up and run at 5 o'clock in the morning for and sacrifice. Why be in it if you're not going to challenge for the world title if the shot comes? All right, guys, we're about to get into round number 1. Both boys been to the center of the ring, touch gloves, and we're about to go for round number 1. Here we go. You definitely see the size difference. Both boys looking, just poking the jab. Geez, Curtis Scott, he looks so much smaller. He comes out swinging though. This is where it's dangerous. This is where Barry Hall has to be careful because early, Curtis Scott's going to be dangerous. And Barry Hall has got a bit of a chin on him as we've seen. Tim's trainer is married to Tim's mother's sister. Yes, okay, that's okay. All right, now I get it. All right, so Barry on the back foot. Geez, he looks a little bit unsteady already. We're only 40 seconds into the round, and down he goes. Was it a knockdown? Hasn't scored at a knockdown, but I'm not quite sure what's happening there, but he does look a little bit. I don't like that left hand being so low for Barry as well. I can just see a right hand knocking him out here, but good. Scott's going to be dangerous early, really dangerous. So far, Barry is trying to poke out the jab. Curtis Scott, definitely the busier fighter. And he is coming behind the jab and lands a right hand. Nice right. An uppercut, and down goes Barry Hall. It's over, I think. It's over. There you go, boys and girls. 90 seconds. 90 seconds, guys. That is it. I don't want to say it. I have full respect of anyone that gets in the ring. That is embarrassing. That performance from Barry Hall is embarrassing. I understand he got in there. He did the work right from the word go. He backed up. He looked shaky. He looked wobbly. It almost looked like he was just waiting to take a knee, and I don't like saying that. And then when he went down, he was happy just to have it waved off. Disgraceful. Bad performance from Barry. It showed absolutely nothing. Nothing. I don't even know how to describe that fight, guys. Right from the word go, Barry Hall came out, just poked his jab a little bit. Curtis Scott, by no means is Curtis Scott anything special, I assure you. Just came in, double jab, and just a right hand, and literally just. And Barry Hall went down twice before that with no effort whatsoever. Shocking performance from Barry. Shocking. Certainly looks like it to me, Hanoi. I'm not going to argue with you, mate. That's he. I don't know how to describe the fight. He looked, for someone that's so big, he looked so fragile and wobbly and shaky and just never in the fight. The first shot he got hit with went down. It wasn't like it was a massive shot that knocked him out. He just went down and couldn't get up. And Curtis Scott, shocking fighter, but landed the right hand. And Barry Hall, he turned away, went down and took the 10 count. 90 seconds, guys. What's that, Lincoln? Barry Hall should have been gone in 60 seconds with Nicolas Cage. That's these make-believe fighters are embarrassing for the sport. And look, I will say this to No Limit. You're as much to blame as Barry Hall and his cornerman and whoever else made that fight. Embarrassing, disgusting that they would put that fight on. Allow that to be the co-main event above Liam Wilson and Yousef Dib. No Limit and all the other promoters out there that put this shit on, and these guys have put it on a pay-per-view co-main event, should be embarrassed. Should be absolutely embarrassed. Now, I don't know the circumstances behind Barry. He said he was in the best shape ever and was never in the fight. And turned away, went down, took the 10 count. I hope the No Limit boys at ringside are all hiding under their chairs, to be honest. Embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing. And look, I think as well, well, I was just going to say there, so Tommy, is this guy known for an Amir Khan chin? Wasn't even that, Tommy. He looked like a completely shot fighter, and he's only had 2 fights. Looks like one of those fighters who's just, I know he's 47, by the way, completely shot, a shell of himself, who could get knocked over with a feather. Embarrassing from No Limit. They allowed that fight on that card. Absolutely disgraceful. And, yep, I agree. Big retired footy players need to stop embarrassing themselves and, more importantly, the sport. Shame on No Limit for putting on this shit. 100% agree, Big J. They should be absolutely embarrassed that they've tried to sell this fight as they are. And I'm not buying that Curtis Scott was just too good and explosive and powerful. No. Barely landed a punch. And Barry Hall went down like he was an absolute shell of himself. Just embarrassing, disgraceful. It should never be allowed. Hopefully that main event say to No Limit, enough of this shit. I know they won't because they want eyeballs on it. They want money, they want eyeballs on the event, they want the attention that it gets in the papers. Disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful that that fight was allowed to take place. Yep, I'm with you, Peter. Clown fights, whether it's be football, reality stars, YouTubers, whatever it might be, it's embarrassing. I know I've said it a few times, but I'm just so pissed that shit is put on a big event like this. So he got hit with the right hand, went in, he clinched, he turns away and just goes down and takes a 10 count. I'm not saying he took a dive, by the way. What I'm saying is that he shouldn't have been in the ring in the first place. Shit with a capital S. Yeah, we pay for the garbage, Carl. Well, look, if that fight was off the card, I still would have bought it. But that is just shit. Most people who paid to watch this paid to see the footy players. Well, hopefully, they're happy they've just blown $60. Yeah, good call there, Peter. Good call. The digital, what's that? the digital med. I hate seeing that happen in the first place. But two, I hate seeing it happen on a pay-per-view event. And more importantly, I hate seeing it on an Australian pay-per-view. Oh, my God. And we've just had Peter Bedell with the big line. Geez, with his power and explosive, fast twitch fibers, whatever the hell he said, he's a danger. That's to Peter Bedell, you peanut. You're right, Peter. I'm embarrassed. Because you know what's tomorrow, Peter? What'll be all over the papers is that. Won't be Sam Goodman's fight. No one. Let's face it. No one gives a shit about the fight on a national scale with the papers. If it wasn't for the footy players on it, well, I know the Herald Sun. I'm sure it's the same in Sydney and Brisbane. No Limit, Main Event, whatever. All have an arrangement with those papers that they put content on. But tomorrow it's all going to be about Barry Hall and Curtis Scott. How great Curtis Scott was, and geez, could he really be the real thing, the real deal? And this fight now won't get a look in. Or Liam Wilson's fight. It is absolute bullshit. Yeah, I agree. Yep, shades of Paul Briggs. That's what it looked like to me. Absolute shit. I am disappointed, Lincoln. It's our sport. Boxing's our sport. I know we all look back to the glory days, but surely, Lincoln, that in this day and age of, I'm just talking Australian, like the pay-per-views, surely boxing is semi-big enough that we don't need that shit to sell a pay-per-view. I know tonight we did, because Sam Goodman's certainly not going to sell a pay-per-view by himself. But if we've got to have a fight like that on a card to make it a pay-per-view, then don't make it a pay-per-view. Take it off. Tell Main Event to stick to the contract. Unless it's a Tim Tszyu, a George Kambosos, arguably Nikita Tszyu, even though he hasn't really fought anyone either. Just, I don't know. I am disappointed there, mate. I am. Yep. Peter Bedell is such an idiot, 100%, mate. There's Pierre Karam. How are you there, mate? Are you having a crack at me? Rocking the greys? Yes. I am old, mate. I am old. Nice to see you on here, mate. What have we got? Yeah, I agree. Yep. There's no other AFL players tough enough to fight league players, so hopefully not any more fights like this. Come on, Todd. Yep, I agree. George just wanted to see an ex-AFL player getting knocked out again by an ex-NRL player. Well, in all the fights I've had over the years, I don't think I've ever seen an AFL player beat an NRL player. I'm not arguing that the rugby boys are a lot bigger, stronger and powerful than the AFL boys. I'm not arguing that at all. I don't care who they are though, mate. It's just embarrassing all round. What's that, Peter? You fought at the Olympics and worked for years on your craft, and these idiots come along and earn the cash. Yeah, mate. Yeah, and I really feel for. Well, look at how would Liam Wilson feel tonight? You know, fought for the world title twice. He's come back. He's taken on a very, very good domestic level fighter to get back amongst in the swing of things. How would he feel that he's been put under that shit? I know he would look at it and go, oh, well, a fight's a fight. I don't care where I am in the card. As long as I'm getting the fights and getting paid, I understand that. And I understand the way it works with the footy players. But surely enough is enough, guys. Enough. 100%, Carl. I agree with the talent we now have in boxing. We should have all pro boxers on cards. We don't need it. Thanks, Pierre. It's all good, mate. There's a few old boxers from the day here, Pierre. Just, I think he's on there still. I'm not sure. Lincoln Williamson, back in the day, and yourself. I'm sure there's others out there. So Lincoln McGee, celebrity footy fights have ruined boxing for actual boxers, kind of bullshit. Yep. Well, look, when you've got this shit, what is it, the Misfits, whatever it is, with that what's his name? KSI, whatever that other peanut is. I really like too, we've got Thailanders on here too, guys, or Thais. Great to have you along. Carl, I missed that one. It is Zamagi. 90 seconds, mate. 90 seconds. Bring back Friday night fights. So see, this is the thing. I mean, you got someone of my vintage jumping up and down about it. Imagine what fans, my old mate Ronnie Picken, I'm not sure he's in the chat tonight, who used to watch fights in the 60s and 70s at Festival Hall. Excuse me. What would he think? Here we go. Tail of the tape. 25 years old is Goodman. 27 is Warawat. Weight 56.26 and 56.38. So I haven't got my glasses on. Reach and height with Goodman. Yep. 90 seconds there. Zamagi. Don't know, Carl. I don't know. Turkey Al Sheikh needs to bring Riyadh season to Australia like he has in England and America. Huni, Apataya, Tszyu, Paro, even Niika and Parker on the same card. I'd love to see that there, Todd, but don't know. I'm with you there, Peter. I drive with you, mate. 1,000 kilometres to watch Apataya fight. I'm not sure whether I told you, Peter. I actually promoted one of Jai's fights. It was 2017 when Virgil Hill bought out his young guy. What was his name? I don't know. He's that good. I can't remember his name. And Jai knocked him out in about 2 minutes as well. So, but great team to deal with. A lot of supporters came down from Sydney to watch, or Queensland. No, Sydney. We had Brock Jarvis on that card as well as the Maloney boys. And I'm pretty sure Tim Tszyu was supposed to be on that card as well and had to pull out at the last minute. Now that's a card, boys and girls. Two Maloneys, a Tszyu, an Opataya, and Brock Jarvis. No footy fights. I needed Hall to lose by KO for 3,000. I knew he wouldn't last. We did lose by KO. Zamagi. What is your biggest complaint with No Limit Promotions? You mean besides the shit footy fights they put on, Tommy? No, my biggest gripe with them, Tommy, is that not so much the pay-per-view fights, because they have to put on a certain amount per year to keep their contract. And Sam Goodman just getting announced there, by the way. We'll start the fight in a sec. But the pay-per-views, they have to put on a certain amount of fights per year, so they just have to get the best shows together they can, which is why we're paying tonight. I don't like the Wednesday night shows. They don't put enough thought and adventure into them, or quality matchups, even though they're getting good money to do it. That's my issue with them. All right, here we go. I'm with you there, Bill. Premier Boxing easily beats No Limit, in my opinion. All right, about to start round number 1. Boys have touched gloves in the centre ring. And away we go. Round number 1. Sam Goodman takes centre ring. Lands a nice jab on Warawat, who throws a few early. Goodman does look slightly bigger than Warawat. Good jab so far from Goodman too. He's landed 2 or 3 already. Another one. Good jab. So Sam Goodman again is taking centre ring, moving forward, sticking out the jab. Warawat on the back foot. Does look capable though, but just having a little bit of trouble with the jab of Sam Goodman at the moment. He looks so much bigger than Sam Goodman. A little 1-2 misses from Warawat. He can punch though, but he's eating jabs at the moment. He has that chin up in here. I think I said that in my preview. He has this habit of coming in with his chin up and is very susceptible to counters. But Sam Goodman nice and tight, poking out the jab. Warawat jabbing to the head and body. He does look capable. Good jabs by both boys, just feeling each other out as you would expect. It's a 12-rounder. But Sam Goodman looking very comfortable at the moment. Nice jabs he's poking out as well. Looks nice and tight with his defence, so Warawat does land a little right hand there. And just being cautious, Sam Goodman is having a bit of a look at Warawat, who's not interested in having a look at Goodman. He's thrown a couple of nice big wild hook so far that neither of them had landed though. But he does like to punch, does WARAWAT. So once we get into the pace of this fight or the groove, be interesting to see what happens. He does throw a left hook right hand that misses again. But he is coming forward now. It does land a left hook that's sort of more of a grazing punch on Goodman, who gets that head right in WARAWAT's face with 50 seconds to go in round number 1. Jab from Goodman, and WARAWAT comes back with a right hand. Good round so far. Both boys landing some good shots. Jab to the body from WARAWAT. 30 seconds to go. He does look confident. And Sam just having a little bit of a problem with his counter shots at the moment. Good, even first round. I'm probably going to have to put my Australian judge's hat on here. If it's close, we know which way it's going. Comes forward, WARAWAT, misses with a left hook right hand. Sam Goodman just content just to move away. Wow. Wow. Who wins the round? I think I'm going to give the round slightly to Sam Goodman. Such an even round. You've got to give it to one. I don't like giving even rounds. I'm going to give it to Sam Goodman. Started well. Wore a couple towards the end of the round. But I think that Sam Goodman just did enough early. Some nice jabs landed. A couple of right hands. I think he's done enough to win that round. If it's in doubt, of course, we're going to have to give it to the Aussie. I'll get to some of your comments as we go. What's that, Tommy? I put $20 on CHAINOI. It wasn't worth it putting in on Goodman. Nah, it's a very short favourite. Missed the stats there. Sorry, guys. I did have them up there. Now, is it just me and the wild bunch up there? Come on, boys and girls. I've seen them firsthand. It's like, oh, my God, I didn't know adults could behave that way. But good luck to them. They pay their money. All right, so into round number 2. I've given that round narrowly to Sam Goodman in the first round, for that first round. Now it's WARAWAT who takes centre ring. Lands a nice left hand there. And he looks like he's pretty confident, the Thai. He's coming forward. Seems to have tightened his defence just a little bit. And he's just giving Sam Goodman just something to think about at the moment. Sam goes back to the jab. A little left hook to the body. WARAWAT misses a big left hook. He's got to at least set him up. Oh, both boys just missed some a couple of big punches there. Yeah, I'll get to your comment in a minute there, Jack. All right, so a minute down in the second round, second of 12. Sam comes forward, jab and a hook that lands. I wouldn't mind seeing WARAWAT just maybe jab a little bit more before going to set up his punches. He's leading with uppercuts and leading with hooks, and he's getting tagged with jabs straight down the middle. Just misses a right hand there, WARAWAT. He's dangerous, no doubt about it. I think this is what Sam's got to do. He's got to lure WARAWAT into his wild punches and then counter him. Sorry, I'm still trying to get over that Barry Hall fight, to be honest. Cannot believe they put that on TV anyway. And he was allowed to fight in the first place. Anyway, minute 10 to go in round number 2. WARAWAT misses a left and a right. Sam having a better round this round. Right hand from Sam Goodman lands. And now Sam Goodman coming forward. Nice jab again. Better round from Sam. A lot better round. Looks a lot more composed. Seems to be whoever takes centre ring is having the most success. And now it is Sam. So we've got 30 seconds to go in round number 2. I'll get to your comment in a minute there, Jack. I'll put it up there so I don't lose it. Misses a left hook and a right hand does WARAWAT. Sam Goodman boxing well. He's moving more to his right-hand side, which is probably the smart thing to do. Good jabs. A couple of wild punches missed by both boys there. And there's the end of round 2. A good round for Sam Goodman. All right, what do you got there, Jack? Faaty Tszyu caught up with Alex Winwood, okay, for breakfast on Saturday. And he's breaking Fenix's record at the start of September. So world title fight for Alex Winwood. Wow, that's amazing. Where'd you catch up with him, Jack? Was it in Adelaide, was it? Or were you somewhere else? Good stuff. That's awesome. Of course, we caught up with Alex in Stockton. Really great young guy. Doing him very well, Carl. That round, he boxed really well. Nice and tight. First round, he probably got a little bit wild and got caught with a couple of shots. But in that round, he boxed smart, really tight. And he was sort of jabbing, waiting for WARAWat to counter with, which is always a couple of big wild shots. He would cover up and then he would counter with some good straight shots in return. So, a good round for him. Sorry, I've missed some comments there, guys, but we're into round number 3. And Sam Goodman takes centre ring again. WARAWat slips in the centre of the ring there. 1-2 misses from WARAWat. Sam just content now to be on the back foot a little bit. He nice little turn there that he did from WARAWat. Made him miss and then spun around. Nice move. Good footwork. Definitely looks like he's found his rhythm now, Sam Goodman. Nice jab there. It's what he's got to do. I think he's got to keep jabbing and doubling it up. He's having a lot of success there. WARAWat just is having trouble reading that jab. And by the time he throws his power punches, Goodman's gone. Definitely likes to have a crack though, WARAWat, but just having a little bit of trouble finding his distance at the moment. Nice right hand from Sam Goodman lands. Is that my commentary, Simon, or the actual commentators? I'm not an actual commentator, mate. So give me a bit of a spell if you're referring to me. I would say 3 rounds there, Carl. Sorry, I'll get back to the fight. All right, so not a lot happening in this round. Sam Goodman centre ring. He does wear a right hand there. Nice little counter from WARAWat lands. This is what WARAWat's probably got to do a little bit more. He's got to use his jab. At the moment, he's just winging wild hooks and uppercuts, and Sam's just taking his time and picking him off. Nice jab from Sam. And now Sam backs WARAWat up, who's content just to move to his left. Little jab to the body. Wears another jab. That right hand just misses from WARAWat. All right, and thanks again to the person who gave us a thumb down. I'm assuming you were looking for a live stream. All right, 40 seconds to go, round number 3. Another good round from Sam Goodman. Look, WARAWat's tried. He's picked up the pace a little bit. Hasn't had any success landing anything at this stage. And Goodman's, he hasn't done anything, that's out there or that catches the eye. But he's been efficient. Nice high guard, nice 1-2s, straight punches, picking his shots really, really well, and just doing enough to win the round. WARAWat, he needs to tighten up if he's going to have any chance at all. He's just being picked apart at the moment. 10 seconds to go, round number 3. All right, that is the end of round number 3. Yeah, Todd Kevin Lorena is fighting Lawrence Okoli for the Bridgerweight title. I did see your comment there, Carl. Was it about, in a way, he's a rock star? Well, I spoke to Jason Maloney over in Perth for the Cambosis and Loma fight, and he was saying, of course, he just got back from Japan. I gave that round to Sam Goodman, by the way. And he said that, in a way, just literally cannot go anywhere. And if he does, he's got minders and guards and all around him. He's an absolute superstar over there. I think he's even bigger than Manny, to be honest, Carl. He said he literally couldn't go anywhere. Pie eyes. Maybe Barry's lost his chin. Was he born with one? Well, barely even got hit with a half decent punch. Pie eyes. In a way, Dohany's not at Tokyo Dome. Not at Tokyo Dome. Next fight, in a way, supposed to fight Sam at the same place. In a way, fights Dohany. Okay. All right, round number 4. Here we go. Look, it's been entertaining without really lighting fire just yet. Yeah, I'm with you there, Peter. He has a crack, but not yet L-Dub. All right, so we're 30 seconds in. Oh, that's good, Andy. I remember that, mate. So, like away, whatever. Oh, now I've got 3. Come on, what have I done? Oh, nice left hook lands from Sam Goodman. Left hook to the body, left hook to the head. Warawat comes back with a left hook to the head. Now we're starting to pick things up. Both boys now in centre ring and both willing to throw some bombs. This is not what I want to see from Sam. I don't want to see him in a war with Warawat. Warawat is dangerous. Tommy, I've got it. Yeah, look, I've got it. No, I've probably got it 3-0 to be honest, Tommy. But yeah, he's been okay, Warawat. But yeah, I just think Sam looks like he's got his measures so far. He's having a go though, Warawat. I will say. What are we halfway through round number 4? And look, he's coming forward, but Sam's just boxing really well. He's very composed, poking out the jab. And Warawat just can't seem to lay any shots on him. Look, he's very predictable as well as Warawat. He throws his punches from his hips. And Sam's just sort of waiting for him, picking him off in 1-2s and yeah, just picking him apart. 3-0, Carl. I've got it. 3-0 for Sam. First one was probably pretty close, but I think the last 2 definitely for Sam. Right, so 45 to go round 2. Warawat, look, he's going after Sam now, but he's not really having success landing any of them. Yeah, I agree with you there, Peter. Sam needs to step back and pick him apart. He's doing a good job. He just needs to stay out of the trenches with Warawat. I think his punches are very telegraphed. He just doesn't need to go after him. Yeah, that's it, Andy. So Sam coming forward now. He's poking the jab. Warawat still looks quite fresh, I will say, but just hasn't been able to land any big shots. Misses an uppercut right hand there, and Sam Goodman gets back on the jab. Nice jabs. Does wear a right hand right at the bell, though. But another round for Sam Goodman. The Thai's pretty happy with himself. He dances back to the corner, says g'day to the crowd. As I said, he does look fresh. I just don't think he's won a round just yet, though. I think Sam Goodman's boxed very, very well so far. Thanks, Simon. Appreciate it, mate. What do we got? So we've still got 212 people watching. That's okay. Just make sure, yeah, we've got 133 likes. We've got the 3 dislikes, but that's okay. They probably just don't like the camera I've got tonight. And apologies again. My other good camera wouldn't hook up properly tonight, so I've got the laptop camera. Have to do the job. So Sam did land a really good combination there. It was a left hook to the head, left hook to the body, followed by a right hand to the head. It was a really nice little combo. I will give it to Warawat, though. He's definitely come to fight, no doubt about it. So we're going to round number 5. And I would think by now his corner would have to be telling him we need to pick things up. Sam just pokes that jab out of there. And I like he's now got his angles and his range right. Sam seems to have, he's got him at arm's length, and his Warawat moves in. Sam just moves back and just keeps that distance the whole time. And is landing some really good jabs. So Warawat jabs to the head, jabs to the body, misses the right hand, and Sam is back on the jab. Good jabs too. Yes, I do, Peter. couple of he landed an okay right on the bell, but nothing to get too excited about. Sam Goodman's coming forward at the moment and almost initiating a little bit of phone booth warfare. He wears a right hand there though, Sam Goodman. This is why he doesn't want to get into that phone booth with WARAWAT, because he can punch. And a left hook, right hand. Another right hand from WARAWAT. Landing some good shots this round. And I don't know why Sam Goodman's just standing there. This is what he doesn't want to do. I don't understand, if you're not a puncher, why you want to punch with a puncher. Doesn't make sense. And Sam Goodman didn't like the fact he wore a few, and now he's coming forward. So halfway through round number 5. Right hand lands from Sam Goodman. Good shot. And WARAWAT comes back with his own right hand. It's a good round for WARAWAT so far. And I can't hear the commentary there, Guy, but I probably agree with there about Ben Damon. And Carl, I will be doing the watch along for that fight too, mate. Jalen Tate, Ibby Bella. I do, Todd. Any card worth it, I do it. Yep. All right, so 50 seconds to go. Sam Goodman looks to be just pegging WARAWAT back in this round. Does land a left hook there. But I think still WARAWAT did enough early so far, or earlier in the round to be winning the round. Let's see what Sam can do in the last. Oh, nice left hook right hand from Sam. Both boys having some success this round. I think Sam sort of pegged him back. Thanks there, Tommy. So 15 seconds to go around number 5. Look, Sam's tried really hard to get this round back. Been a lot busier in the second half of the round, but look, I'm probably going to give WARAWAT his first round. I thought he landed some really good shots earlier in the round, and even though Sam got a little bit busier later in the round, I don't think he probably landed enough to take that round back. So Jack, no disrespect, Goodman is a good fighter, very technical, but he's so boring to watch. Yeah, he's not the most exciting guy, is he? What's that flash? Did someone catch who Nikita Tszyu is locked into fight next month? Cole Mazzuti a flash. So what's that? August. Yep. So good fight. Be a tough fight. Cole Mazzuti is extremely tough. I think his style really suits Nikita though. I think Nikita Tszyu will almost be able to have target practice with Cole Mazzuti. Doesn't really move his head a lot. Comes forward. He's not a big puncher either. So I think he's a perfect opponent. Both boys had some success in that round in slow motion. So Goodman lands a beautiful right hand there, but then WARAWAT comes back with the right hand and a left hook to the body. So I've got it 4-1 at the moment as we go into round number 6. I did see that, Carl. He left his Mexican trainer. I saw that. 3-2. I've got it 4-1, Tommy, but a couple of close rounds in there. All right, so WARAWAT takes center ring, wears a jab walking forward. And now Sam Goodman takes center ring. And WARAWAT, good shot coming forward now. Really picking up the pace. And still looks relatively fresh, I will say. What was it, round 6? Now Goodman coming forward, but WARAWAT, yeah, he does look a lot better. Yes, Monk. It's a very good point there. No damage so far. Tony. Both boys looking, yeah, as I said before, both boys looking very fresh, but no marks that I can see. Goodman lands a left hook. WARAWAT, look, he is looking for those big shots, but again, he's just very predictable. He's just not setting up those punches, and he's just making it very easy for Sam to pick off. So Sam poking that jab again. This is what he's got to do. He's got to get back on the jab. Nice jab, and another one from Goodman. So a slower start to the round. We've got 1:10 to go in round number 6. I'm 100% with you there, Todd, but they will. I will put him in within a way. So a minute to go. Probably better round for Sam Goodman in this round, I would say. Misses a left hook. Backs Worawat to the ropes, but Warawat just a nice little step off there, and we're back to centre ring. I'm with you there, Peter. I've got him winning one round. That's about it. And he does get worn there. I'm not quite sure what that was. All right, 30 to go. Try and fled. I'm trying to tell it the way it is. Right hand from Warawat. But I think Sam Goodman's boxed very well. Just telling it the way it is there. Fled. Yeah, look, that's probably all he's got, Tommy, is the puncher's chance at the moment. Look, he's been okay. He's been okay. It's just that Sam Goodman's been more effective with his jab and his hook. So that's the end of round number 6. I'd give that to Sam Goodman. Warawat had his moments, but I think Sam Goodman just boxed really, really smart, and a good round for him. And I think he's winning 5 rounds to 1. As the crazy mob or the mad bunch or whatever the hell they're called are up and about. I'd say so, Hendy. I think that's a pretty good pick there, mate. A pretty good chance. I agree, Peter, but that's what they're going to do. All right, what's all got their fight stats? 104 of 427, and Goodman 107 of 305. So Warawat 35 to the body. Goodman only 17 to the body. Goodman 90 to the head. Warawat 69 to the head. Tend to agree there, Fled. I'm not sure he'd be unbeatable, Bill, but I think he'd be a lot more formidable and a lot better chance against CHAINOI, that's for sure. But what's that there? All right. Freddie visuals. No idea who these guys are, but I made a bet on Goodman to kill him at the office. Always greetings from Belgium. Thanks, mate. No idea how you found this, but good stuff. All right, so round number 7. Oh, I'll just get your... Don't know what the hell that is. What's that say? Nice little combination from Sam Goodman there as he walked forward. And for the first time, I've got to say, Warawat just looks a little gassed. And Sam just probes the jab. He pokes, he prods, and then he spears it. Although Warawat does land a left uppercut there. Sam, I don't like the Sam. He goes back in a straight line. I've always been a big advocate of spinning off to the side, either left or right. Don't go back in a straight line. Warawat having some success in this round. Some good punches landing there. Leads with a right. He seems to be having more success when he leads with the straight right than he leads with his jab. I 100% agree with there, Peter, that Jason Maloney would beat Sam. Let's hope we get to see that one day. All right, so halfway through round number 7. And it's been a good round for Warawat, I think. Sam Goodman's sort of backing up the moment. It does throw a 3-4 punch combination there that was picked off by Warawat. And Warawat comes forward and lands a right hand. Good point there, Jay. The boys hit or collide heads there, or and a little in close at the moment. Sam goes to the head and body, but Warawat is able to go with him, and lands a nice little left on the inside there. I'm not sure. And a hook from Warawat and a right hand from Warawat. Nice. Both boys in close at the moment. And Warawat, 8 or 9 punches in a row there. Good combination from him. Not many landed, but shows he's got a bit left. 30 to go in round number 7. I think it's a good round from Warawat so far. Still got 5-1 for Goodman. 10 to go in round number 7. Better round for WARAWAT. And Goodman does land a right hand at the bell, but a good round for WARAWAT, and I've given him the round. So it's 5-2 for Sam Goodman. What's that, Tommy? It's crazy how important power can be. Sometimes sounds like a casual, but it's such a game changer. It can cover up some of your technical flaws. 100%, mate. Well, it doesn't sound like a casual. It's just fact. And a lot of fighters look great against lesser lights when they've got good power, and then they come up against good fighters where power doesn't really become as much as a factor as talent and ability and endurance, or whatever you might want to call it. But Tommy got excited. He does, Peter. I've got 5-2 anyway. Better round for the tie. Warawat. Yeah. He's been okay. He's been good. Yes. 4-3 says Tommy. Okay. I got it 5-2, but maybe there could be a round that could have went to him. So round number 8. This is where it sorts them out in these rounds. Yeah, I do, Jason. I do, mate. It's because I can't turn it around, mate. Don't you know what happens with YouTube and pay-per-views, mate? Doesn't work that way. So, Jason, go watch the fight somewhere else, mate. And it doesn't say it's a live stream. It says it's a watch-along. So, there you go. And, yes, I do love myself that much, Jason. All right. Minute into round number 8. So Warawat coming forward. He is loading up. Misses a left hook and a right hand there. Sam on the back foot now, moving to his right. Still using the jab. And what? I'm going to say Jason. I've just seen that in there. Sam back on the jab, which is good. Using a little bit more movement. I think he needs to do this. I think if he stands there and trades with Warawat, that's when he's going to get tagged. Warawat, look, he's having some success again, coming forward. And I don't know whether Sam's just being a little bit overcautious this round, or he might be gassed a little bit. I doubt it, because he's got such great endurance. But he is a little bit more cautious this round. And Warawat's coming forward. He's really putting the pressure on. Exactly, Lincoln. Yeah, another good round for Warawat. Coming forward, he's letting him go. He's leaving no stone unturned, that's for sure. Does land copper left hook there, though, but he is having success in the trenches as well. And I don't know why Sam is standing with Warawat. So both boys in close. Again, I don't know why Sam is trading with Warawat. Lands a right uppercut there, Goodman. But Warawat comes back. Good round. Nice right hand from Warawat as well there. So both boys in close, head to head. Both ripping and hooking to the head and body. And yeah, some good punches landed by both guys. I think 10 seconds ago, I think Warawat's probably had a better round. I think he's been okay. Again, I don't know why Sam is deciding to fight this way. All right, I've given that round to Warawat. 5-3 for me. Good round. He's won the last 2 rounds. What's that there, Cut? Yeah, there's always a goose amongst the mob, mate. You're going to get that when you've got a couple of hundred people watching, so it's all good. All right, so the fight stats, Warawat has landed 112 to the head compared to 127 to Goodman. To the body, He's landed 44 to 29 for Goodman. So they've both landed 156 punches. Although Warawat has thrown 200 more punches at this stage. He does have to stay on his jab there, Julian. What's happening at the moment is Warawat's, look, he's nothing out of the ordinary. He's not like he's some flash in the pan. I mean, he's a good little fighter, but very, very predictable. He's pretty much planting his feet and just letting him go. And Sam has a lot of success when he's using movement. He's using his straight punches, but for some reason he's suddenly decided to get in the trenches and go head-to-head with Warawat, and Warawat's won the last 2 rounds. So round number 9, I've got it 5 rounds to 3 for Sam Goodman. And Warawat comes forward and switches to southpaw now. Switches back. So Sam back on the jab and Warawat coming forward. It's been a good fight. Again, I think Sam Goodman's a couple of rounds in front, but a couple of rounds have been close. Oh, misses a big right hand there, Warawat. It's one thing about the ties. They are tough as anything, and we'll just keep coming forward. Carly, look, it has looked like he's lost his composure a couple of times. That's for sure, but I think he realised, maybe he went out there a little hard early, and Warawat has been able to go with him, and maybe he might be a little bit gassed now, and Warawat's putting on the pressure. So far in the round, we are a minute into round number 9. Warawat coming forward. Sam looks like he's trying to get back on the jab and his movement, and for the first time is starting to clinch. And kiss that world title fight goodbye, Peter, if he loses. And I think they brought in the tie for a reason, to give him a good fight, but not necessarily be in a position to beat him. But so far he's been good and in close. Sam is in close with Warawat, and Warawat's landing uppercuts and hooks. Landing some good shots. And Sam Goodman comes back with a left hook right hand, but Warawat, I think, having the better of the exchanges so far. Uppercuts in close. Good shots from Warawat. I think he's winning this round as well. I don't know why Sam is trying to outslug Warawat. Does land a 1-2 there, though, but they go back in close. Lands a right hand, but again, I think Warawat still having slightly better, although Goodman does land a good right hand there. I don't know why he's trying to punch with Warawat. It looks like his tape might be coming loose there as well with Warawat. And Warawat just throws 12 punches in a row. And now they'll look at the tape. Just one thing I'll say about Warawat, supremely conditioned. Sam Goodman is always in just unbelievable shape and never seems to be out of breath. But at this stage, Warawat has made him, look a little bit gassed for the first time I think I've ever seen him look a little bit gassed, Sam Goodman. Yes, Lincoln, not good, mate. Is that what you're watching? Highlights? Is that what you want to call it? I thought it was just 90 seconds of shit, to be honest, Lincoln. But anyway. All right, so here we go. 30 seconds to go in round number 9, and we're back into it. Yeah, here's Tommy. He's got a good record. But, geez, just in supreme condition. He's just, and he goes straight back out there and goes to work. At least this time Sam gets on the back foot. And look, I think so far, I think it's another round for Warawat. Closer round. Sam gets on the back foot. And lands a 1-2 right on the bell. Does that give him the round? I'm going to give it to Warawat. I've got a feeling, though, to be honest with you, the judges are going to give that round to Sam. But I'm going to give that round to Warawat. I thought he, for the majority of that round, had the better of the exchanges. And again, I'll say it, I don't understand why you've got a tough little puncher in front of you who just will not take a backward step and just seems to have limitless energy. Why you would stand in front of him and try and take him on when you are a natural boxer who likes to use the distance, use the jab and the 1-2s and moving. Why you'd be trying to take him on in centre ring. Maybe it's a hometown thing. He's in Newcastle. Wollongong. His hometown. Maybe that's got something to do with it, but it just doesn't make sense to me. Because ego and pride is not gonna get you the win. I mean, he landed some good shots that round, but I just think overall, WARAWAT had the better of the exchanges. So we've got 3 rounds to go. And so round number 10, here we go. 5 rounds to 4, I have it for Sam Goodman. And he's back on the jab, which is a good sign. WARAWAT definitely with his confidence up at the moment. It's coming forward and looks very, very confident in himself. Wouldn't go that far yet, Carl. It's a long way to go. But, yeah. To be honest with you, Carl, I don't think it matters how well that WARAWAT finishes the fight. I've got a feeling this is going to Sam Goodman either way, mate. It's just a gut feel. I don't like it, but I've got it 5-4, Alex, for Sam Goodman. Although I've given WARAWAT the last 3 rounds. And now WARAWAT is coming forward. Look, Sam started a lot quicker in this round, but now seems to have gassed a little bit and takes a 1-2-3 from WARAWAT. Good punches. So WARAWAT has absorbed a little bit of a punishment from Goodman early, but now he's coming forward. And Goodman, he looks tired. He's backing up, and WARAWAT's coming forward. He's got 2.5 rounds to go. And this is where he's got to get on the bike and start jabbing. I'm with you, B. 100% he needs to KO him in his backyard. Shouldn't be that way, but unfortunately it is. It was even worse than shit, Lincoln. It's one of the worst performances I've ever seen. All right, so back to centre ring. Minute 20 to go in round number 10. Good fight so far. Both guys showed a ton of heart. Sam on the back foot. It does look like he slowed down a lot, though. And again, I don't know why he's standing in front of WARAWAT, who just seems to be just getting better as the rounds go on. And WARAWAT's putting the pressure on. He's turned to southpaw now. He's moving forward. Sam backing up. Not really effective at all at the moment. Does land a right hand there, but WARAWAT comes back with a left. Right, I should say. I'm with you there, David, but I don't know. I think he's trying to now get on the foot. He does land a nice little sneaky right hand there. But so far, I think WARAWAT's had the better of the round. What have we got? 40 seconds to go. He's backing up. He's Sam Goodman, and WARAWAT just continuing to move forward. Uppercutting and hooking to the head and body. And he's throwing 2 to 3 times the amount of punches that Sam's throwing at the moment. But again, it's how effective the punches are. Sam's landed some nice shots, but WARAWAT's landed probably the heavier shots. So 10 seconds to go round number 10. I think it's been a better round for Sam, to be honest. I think WARAWAT's tried really hard, thrown a lot more punches, but hasn't really landed anything of note. And I'm gonna give that round sneakily to Sam Goodman. I think he landed some nice little shots, and you got to put your biased Aussie hat on. I'm going to give that round to Sam Goodman. G'day, Luke. Yeah, look, I've got it 6-4 for Sam, but hasn't been his best performance there, mate. Otto, yep, I've got it 6-4. That round was close. I just think Sam landed a few sneaky little punches, I reckon, just to take the round. WARAWAT probably definitely put on the more pressure, threw more punches, but just didn't really land anything. So, Luke, I have it 6-4 for Sam Goodman at the moment. Yeah, I agree there, Carl. Did bank up some early rounds, but I did have WARAWAT winning, 3 rounds in a row, but I gave that last round to Sam. All right, so these are the last 2 rounds coming up. Oh, a bit sore sitting there. The old hammies are starting to cramp up a bit. All right, here we go. Round number 11. Jason, no shit, mate. I wouldn't have my hand out for money if I was him, Jason, to be honest. That's Barry Hall, but anyway. All right, so Sam back on the jab. WARAWAT continues to move forward. And both boys still look quite fresh. I thought Sam a couple of rounds ago, like he was starting to wilt just a little bit, but seems like he's maybe got his 2nd or 3rd win now. A sort of lead right from Warawat there, and Sam keeps poking out the jab. Nice right hand from Sam Goodman. Follows it with a jab. So Warawat centre ring. I like this from Sam. He's given up centre ring to Warawat, but he's now content to really keep that distance and range and keep Warawat away from him. Yeah, I know, Peter. Look, it was a tough round to score, Peter. A close round, you give it to the Aussie because that's the way the judges are going to have it. Thought he put on more pressure and threw more punches. I just think Sam landed the cleaner shots. But it has been interesting, Carl. Go, Tommy, big plate of Thai food. Go down to the local Thai massage place, mate. Do your thing. All right, so halfway through round number 11. Both boys exchange right hands there. And Warawat just looking a little bit fatigued at the moment. Hasn't really thrown a lot this round and seems to be just chasing Sam around the ring at the moment. And Sam's boxing very smart, I think. Knockout, Luke, from Liam Wilson. Highlight reel knockout it was too. Check it out. Not the greatest performance from Liam, but got the job done. All right, so 50 seconds to go, round number 11. Nice 1, 2, 3 from Sam. Good round for him so far. Really good round. I think he's winning this round quite comfortably so far. Boxing smart. Does look a little fatigued, but I think doing the job this round. Chins are us, pie eyes, yep. All right, 20 seconds to go, round number 11. Good round for Sam Goodman. I think he's boxed very well this round and smart, more importantly. Another right hand from Sam Goodman lands there. Probably the first round I've seen from Warawat who's probably only thrown about 50 punches for the round. I think he's been over 100 for nearly every round so far. Yeah, I've got it 7-4, Tommy. That's another round for Sam Goodman. Stop putting him away to the level of these two amateurs. No one's putting him at the level there, Fled. But the facts are that if Sam Goodman wins tonight, which it looks like he's going to fight Inoue next. So it's not us doing anything. It's fact. That's what's happening. What's that there? Draw plus 25. So what does that mean? The plus 2,500. How much does that mean? If you put $100 on, how much do you win? All right, so we're about to head into the 12th round and what's been a tough, hard, bruising fight. Make no mistake about it. I'm surprised at how fresh, especially how fresh the Thai looks at the moment. The Sam Goodman definitely knows he's been in a fight. So they touch gloves for the start of round number 12. A good, solid hit out for Sam Goodman. If he does get that fight with Inoue. All right, so Warawat starting to come forward. I think he knows he needs a knockout to win. Sam Goodman on the back foot, jabbing nicely. Probably knows he's got the fight in the bag and will probably just coast to a win, you would think. So backs to his left, poking out the jab, and Warawat does a nice little right hand again, does Goodman as Warawat moves in. Back on the jab. You know, I like the way that Sam's kept his composure in these sort of middle to late rounds. He was looking a little bit fatigued there at one stage, and Warawat definitely had his tail up, but I think he's adjusted really well, got back on the jab and has boxed quite well. So not much happening this round. Warawat, surprisingly, is probably having his quietest round of the fight so far. And we've got a minute and 50 seconds to go in the fight. As such, Sam's just happy just to poke the jab out and move. And, both boys exchange left hooks there. Pay-per-view worthy, Luke. No, I don't think so. But again, they have to put on a certain amount per year, and it's probably the best they could do with the Tszyu not available. All right, so Sam back on the jab. Yeah, that's fine, Fled. All right, Zane, I've got it 7 rounds to 4 for Sam Goodman, and we have a minute to go in round number 12. So look, surprisingly, after the fight we've had, not much happening. Sam on the back foot, moving to his left, moving to his right, poking the jab out, quite content just to move. Warawat coming forward, but not really throwing many shots. And as I said, I think it's almost his quietest round of the fight, which is really surprising. Yeah, he's winning, Zane. Should win this round. On my card, I would have it 8 rounds to 4. So if he wins this round, I mean, Warawat's coming forward, but hasn't really done a lot. And I think Sam Goodman's going to box his way to a hard-fought decision. I will say it hasn't been easy, that's for sure. So 10 seconds to go in the fight. Warawat's still coming forward. Sam Goodman lands a left hook on the bell. So that is the fight. Both boys embrace. Really good fight, I will say. Really, really good fight. I think Sam Goodman's won that fight 8 rounds to 4, so 116 to 112. That's the way I had it. I'll see if I can get a little bit of volume so we can hear the scorecards. Yeah, that's what I was saying, Tommy, that to Fled there. No one's saying that Sam Goodman's a chance to beat in a way, but I do respect him for taking the fight 100%. But on the other hand, again, I think it's got 1, 2, maybe 3 rounds written all over it, if you ask me. So, yeah, you can probably see that, Carl. Never been in a 12-rounder. Those last 2 rounds especially. Thanks, Peter. Appreciate it, mate. I haven't got the official scorecards yet, but I appreciate it. Thanks, Jake. I really appreciate you tuning in there, mate. We'll be back. What's the next one? What's on? Is there a fight this weekend? No, I won't do Yanabek on the weekend. I will be back next week for the Jalen Tate Ibrahim Bala fight. We'll do that next Wednesday. But yeah, it's been a big 3.5 hours so far. Thanks, Peter. Appreciate it, mate. For talking boxing, make sure you tune in. Don't forget to like and subscribe, all that sort of stuff. Thanks again to the 4 people who gave me a thumbs down, who were looking for a live stream. Appreciate it. Yeah, Zane, I think, I think you would have to have him winning, I would think. Thanks, Tommy. Appreciate it, mate. Yep, all good, mate. No worries. Appreciate you, Lincoln, coming on the show. If Sam and his team take any confidence out of this fight, they're taking the piss. Yeah, thanks, Mark. Yeah, look, the issue I've got with this, guys, is that Sam showed he was very vulnerable to be getting hit from that style of fighter. Now, I know he's nowhere near, in a way, his Warawat, but the style where he likes to plant his feet and throw multiple power punches in one hit, I was a little bit probably concerned that Sam did wear some pretty big shots. It's probably just good that Warawat, despite him having 15 knockouts in 25 wins or whatever it is not really a big puncher. So I've just got a little bit of a worry that if he's getting nailed with those shots from someone like Warawat, in a way he's a 10 times better fighter than Warawat. So, he's gonna land punches on Sam. What effects are gonna have? That's my only concern. Yes, Tommy, I had it 8-4, mate. So 116, 112. I'll read out the scorecards here, Zane. Here we go. Didn't say it was a live stream combat. I said it was a watch along, mate. 117, 111. 117, 113. 119, 109. Sam Goodman. So 117, 111, 117, 113, and 119, 109. I don't know what fight that judge was watching where he gave Warawat 1 round. That is disgraceful. But Sam Goodman won the fight. Make no mistake about it. What's that? Thanks, Luke. What's that there? Keep an eye out for a young guy coming through in the next Ace Boxing card by the name of Luke Mad Dog Morrison. Okay. Is that next week's show, Luke? Is that the Ibrahim Bala and Jalen Tate fight? Let us know. So what's his name? Luke Morrison. All right, we'll keep a lookout for him. Thanks, Flash. Appreciate it, mate. Hope you didn't mind the politics talk too much. All right, so they're interviewing Sam at the moment. Protest. Yeah, no, good. Look, good performance from Sam. But for me, if you're looking at overall, good performance. Jabbed well or boxed well, landed some good shots, took some good shots. But if we're looking as far as, unanimous Sam, 117, 111, 117, 113, 119, 109. So unanimous. So the concern I have with him, as well as he boxed and as good as he moved and his sharp punches, the fact that, as I said, he wore a lot of shots from Warawat, who's a good, solid little fighter, but I don't think really world class. So, yeah. Oh, okay. Sorry. Combat. Yep. Live stream. Yep. I do say, I'm not sure it says anywhere there that it's a live stream. Here's a quick one for you there, Combat. We did Nikita Tszyu's last fight against, who was the Italian guy? Whatever his name was. We had 15,000 people watching that stream, and I reckon 14,800 of them were there thinking it was a live stream. So, but again, I'll say, I never say it's a live stream. It's a watch along. The best I can do. Sorry, Pies, you impressed by Goodman or not? I'm assuming that is. Sorry, I was in the middle of that, wasn't I? Thanks, Carl. I was impressed by his performance, Pie Eyes. But thanks, Trevor. But again, if you're looking in terms of the Inoue situation, which we've got to measure him up against, the fact that he was able to get caught, the fact that he continually got caught up punching with Warawat, who lucky again wasn't a big puncher, I don't think it augurs well for a fight with Inoue. Again, I respect him for taking that fight. But if he stands in front of Inoue half as much as he stood in front of Warawat tonight, it's not going to be a good night, especially early. And I would think that the way Sam fights, he's a little bit more of a boxer, not very heavy-handed at all. I would think that Inoue would look at him. One, he would probably not know much about him or rate him or anything like that. I just think he would go out there in that steamrolling type of mood that he gets in a way. I don't think he would respect Sam anywhere near as much as he respects Neri and who was the Filipino? You know who I'm talking about. What was it? I'm thinking Astrolabio for some reason. But I'm sure you know who I'm talking about. That he would respect those guys, and you've seen that a little bit when he fought them. But someone like Sam Goodman, I would just think that he would look at him as just another opponent, I suppose, and he'd go out there and really take it to him early and not really have much respect for Sam's ability or his power. So that just does not spell give us any good news when it comes to Sam. I just think it's going to be just a demolition. But as an Aussie, of course, I'll support him. But geez, it's a tough one. Goodman and Wilson both get chinned in the next fights. Well, it's a possibility. Jack Wilson's chin is a pea stick away from cracking. Dib's so close to hurting. Yeah, look, Jack, I'm a big fan of Liam. He's a great guy, and but I've got to agree there, mate, if I'm being honest. I tried to describe it during the call there that he was getting hit with shots that weren't big shots, but you could just see they were just shuddering down Liam, if that makes sense. They could just see that they were almost rocking him to his core without being those shots that really, give him the chicken dance or put him down and like that. You could just see that he was really feeling the shots, and not just big shots, like a hard jab would just make him sort of stiffen up a little bit. And Dib's not a big puncher by any means. So that's it, Otto. That was the scorecards there, mate. I would just like to see him maybe move his head a little bit more, Jack, or I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes you are who you are. You can't just click your fingers or wave the magic wand to make fighters better, unfortunately. You can try everything you can. But I'm a little bit worried by the shots look to have an effect on Liam tonight, if I'm being completely honest. And I'm also concerned, as I said, that Sam tends to get drawn into a phone booth a little bit. And if he does, look, the thing is, what I'm looking at with, say, Sam against Inoue, if he tries to box from long range and move early, because you'd think that Inoue is going to come out smoking, okay? And you would think that Sam's going to be, I think he would be on his bike and trying to move and survive and clinch and everything else. And that's just bad to fight Inoue, because you're just pretty much a sitting duck and he's going to hunt you down. But then on the other hand, if you try and actually go with Inoue, well, he's got the power to get you out of there with one shot. I just can't see any way, if I'm being completely honest, that Sam Goodman can win that fight. I'd be surprised. Well, I did say 2 or 3 rounds, but I'd be absolutely staggered if he lasted the distance or even lasted into the later rounds. And I would definitely fall off my chair if he happened to win. But for me, again, being an Aussie, of course, we're going to support Sam, but I'm thinking 2 or 3 rounds. That's probably about the extent of it. So I know that's not going to get me a Christmas card from the Sam Goodman fan club, but it is what it is. I just call it the way I see it, and I'm just worried about his being susceptible to big shots. And likely tonight, Warawat's not a big puncher and couldn't hurt Sam. So what's that? Slurs his speech to me. Is that normal for him? Yeah, well, he's always been a little bit that way. Can I call you Sapper? Is that what I'm going to call you? Look, he's always been a little bit shy and always had a little bit of trouble, with the sentences, only because I think he's a bit shy and withdrawn. It's not really his style. But I must admit, if I'm being, again, honest, I watched him at the weigh-in yesterday being interviewed, and I must admit, I did hear him speak Sapper. And, I must admit, for the first time ever, I thought, wow, that's... he does. Always thought, again, he was always just a bit shy and a little bit trouble with the sentences, but yesterday seemed more like just having a little bit of trouble, forming a coherent sentence. So I hope that's not the case. Look, one thing I do know is that his trainer, Benny Harrington, his manager, Glenn Jennings, I'm sure his family and everyone around him would be looking at that, and if there was some serious issues there or problems, they'd be on him to maybe retire. And I think Liam, as much as he would love another world title shot, I think if it came down to it, the fact that he's got such a young family, 2 small kids, that he would think that, well, boxing's only for a short term of my life, and I've got a life to live, and maybe that is it. But we'll see. As I said, he's got a great team around him, so I'm sure they'll make the right decision. Pie Eyes, I'm not sure, mate. He's just gone up to lightweight with this one. I'm just not sure going up to, say, 140 would even do the job, to be honest. I think obviously if they hit harder up there, yes, he'd be carrying a little bit more weight and be able to carry, be able to probably withstand a little bit more punishment. Yeah, but yeah, it's a tough one, mate. It really is. So, all right, guys. Well, look, I think that is about it. We've dropped down to about 90 viewers. One thing I will say, guys, really appreciate you all joining in. I know it's not much fun sometimes to be watching a guy watching the boxing. I understand that, but it's not designed for that. It's really designed, as I always say, just if you are watching the fights, to be able to interact with other boxing fans about what's going on. If you're at work or away or you can't watch the fight, whatever reason, it's designed for live updates. And again, if you think it's not worth it and you don't want to pay the money, well, again, it's good for live updates. So that's all it's really for there, guys. Again, I know it's not much fun just watching me, but it's the best I can do at this stage. So for everyone that joined in, really appreciate it. And we'll see you next week for Jalen Tate and Ibrahim Bella. I'll be live, and I can't remember there was one in between that, but we'll have a look at the weekend. But yeah, well, they all speak like that in Queensland. Nice one, Matthew. That's a good one to finish with, mate. So I'm assuming you're from New South Wales, I would gather. But anyway, guys, thanks again. Hope to see you on Monday for Talking Boxing, and then for the fights next week for the live watch along for the Premier Boxing Series. Have a good rest of the week, and we'll catch you next time.